Season 2. We are now in week number 2. The casters, they come as two. Spooky Mars here, joined by Jack SM12, and we are watching two, coincidentally, teams facing off today. And I sure hope that someone filled up the cleaning supplies because it's the Janitors versus Dr. Phil today. Jack, how you doing? Jack,
Hey,
how
I'm
you
here.
doing?
I am so excited to be here for week 2. We got two top teams going head to head, clashing it out on the battleground of the gods. Let's hop right into it, Spooky. What are you thinking so far of these picks and bans?
Well, pretty conventional bands so far. Kepri is probably the most unusual one here, banned out on the side of the Janitors. So maybe they're expecting some crazy things out of Dr. Phil here today, and I wouldn't be surprised. I don't blame them at all, as we saw some crazy things out of them in week number 1. Jingtian Jungle? Anybody? So picking up the Nemesis, that's a pretty safe first pick there. She's a pretty top tier jungler, so I like seeing that. But now we're seeing Hercules and Hades locked in on the side of Dr. Phil. And Hades isn't the most conventional pick in this competitive environment. Jack, what do you think of that one?
Uh, it can be a surprise pick. You know, people can get really head on it, behind on it. He has a great team fight ultimate paired with the Hercules Boulder. Um, so that's a nice little 1-2 punch right there. The Nemesis, top tier pick right now, probably going in the jungle unless they feel like doing something frisky that Dr. Phil did in week 1, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to stick to their original game plan.
Yeah, I do believe that would be a safe call here, as we see Sun Wukong picked into this Hades most likely here. And I like that as a decision. Sun Wukong is a pretty safe laner. He's able to poke pretty confidently from range there, so he's not in as much danger facing down a Hades as someone like Kokolin or the previously banned Amaterasu. So I think that's a good decision as a counter pick there, as it'll really prevent Hades from snowballing off of him. However, the real slammer here is Jing Tian locked in, which means there will be no Jing Tian jungle this time, Noah. You gotta find something else spicy on this one.
And I think Noah's heart's going to be broken after that one, letting his main get taken from him because he performed so greatly on week 1 on it.
Yes, his main of Xing Jungle, the pick he is undoubtedly now known for. But who do you think Noah might be looking to pick into this nemesis here?
uh I'm not too sure. Maybe I know he rocks Akali a lot. Thanatos maybe. Um, I'm not too sure. It'll be interesting to see what the last two picks from each team are going to come out here along with the bans.
Yeah, and we do see an ISIS ban coming out, and while that may seem unusual to some of our viewers, that is actually a targeted ban towards Skills, I believe, who is kind of known for picking up that ISIS. The thing is, though, Skills may not even be in mid lane this game. It could be who is this user, or more affectionately known as Tobias. So we do see a Wheelish being picked up by Noah, and if you guys remember season 1, he was pretty well known for this Wheelish pick in the early stages of the league. Kind of drifted away from it as the weeks went on, but seems for this round, after Thanatos is being banned away from him, he's going back to this old comfort pick.
Definitely a comfort pick for Noah here. He decimated a lot of teams in week 1 on this Wheelix. It's nice to see him bring it back out. Try and run the jungle this game on that pick like he can in most games.
Absolutely, and we do see a Toth being hovered, and I really like that decision there. If they lock that in, I think it'll be really good for them. I mean, if you look at the team they have right now, Cupid and Jingtian, those combo very well with Toth, but more importantly, Tough is pretty safe because of his range. He won't be in much danger from Hades. He's going to be able to put a lot of distance between himself and Hercules, and Hercules is one of those gods that just W keys at your face and tries to get on you as quickly as possible. And Toth just kind of disables that with his massive range and safety. So I do like that pickup.
As we are about to head into the game here, what are you thinking about these two teams, Spooky?
Hmm. Honestly, I like what the Janitors have drafted a little bit more here. That's not to say that Dr. Phil doesn't have anything going for them. I mean, they've got the Uller and Hercules in that dual lane, so that is a lot of pressure in the early game. I mean, levels 1 and 2, those are incredibly dangerous for the Janitors dual lane right now. Hercules plucks someone, driving strikes them back. Uller just has to stun them, burst them down. They're dead. If they get plucked in this early game, they are dead. So I would also expect to see some pressure from Noah in that lane because that's really where their strengths lie. Hades is normally a high pressure pick, but with the Janitors picking up the Sun Wukong for the Honkler, I don't think he's going to have that same presence in that lane because of Sun Wukong's safety.
So you got Janitors on this one. I'll go with Dr. Phil. I got the boys. We see just banter X DDDD picking the Hercules instead of his original, King Arthur support that he usually goes. So it's nice to see him switch it up. I like the Hades paired with the Hercules team fight ultimates. Noah on his Awelix, looking for him to just run this jungle. Who is this user on the Uller? Very aggressive carry. We'll see how he plays into the Cupid. And Scylla, her ultimate is great. Her crush is great. Her root is great. Her escape's great. It'll be definitely interesting to see how this game pans out.
Yeah, most definitely. And I do believe this is the first time in the Reap Smite League history we have seen just banter on something other than King Arthur. Still a warrior support, but I think that Dr. Phil will take whatever they can get on this one.
It's it's nice for them to switch it up and not go for those, you know, weird picks. Like they went like a Nemesis carry in week one. It's nice that they have, a proper assassin jungle. The Hades can be played in solo lane no problem. The Scylla mid, the Herc support, Uller carry. It's nice to see two traditional teams here.
Yeah, and also it's really nice to see that they do have this diversity in their god pools, which I mean you could argue that their week 1 performance was a showing of diversity in a way, not the particular kind of diversity I'm a huge fan of myself, but it was actually pretty cool to watch. I can't say I'm not a fan of it, but it's good to see that in pretty much every game they've picked up a different god. There's gonna be some good poke coming out of the mid lane. Scylla there as Noah is now rotating in, maybe looking for a jump onto the real Bilbo, but he is playing smartly, staying a little ways back. Here we have the dual lane, and like we said, there should be a lot of aggression over there, but there might. And there's the pluck onto Cupid. Driving strike hits both of them. Cupid very low. Siggy does fall for the first blood. Just banter picking that one up. Now it looks like Kid Slim will manage to find his way out, but who is this user? Is skill giving chase, trying to find these basics. He doesn't manage to find another kill, but that's a lot of pressure put onto the dual lane of the Janitors already.
That is a beautiful pluck by Hercules. I'm pretty sure both duos hit level 2 at the same time. Hit a beautiful pluck, beautiful knockback, and Uller stun into his 3 and his 1. It was complete chaos there. Nice to see them come out on top of that one.
Yeah, both hit 2 at the same time. Unfortunately, Dr. Phil's 2 is just a little bit stronger than the level 2 of the Janitors, and we saw the results of that. And now Noah invading those back camps, trying to find a lead wherever he can here. Now we do see in that solo lane the traditional slap fight, and we might actually have to pause on that as Noah might be looking for another gank onto the duo lane here, trying to create more pressure, jumping in, looking for the knockup, doesn't quite find it, but they do find the kill. Noah finding that one after the pluck does connect, no knockback, but it does enough damage for Noah to get that last bit of damage and get the kill. Now Dr. Phil up 2-0, and like we were talking about, they are looking a lot towards this duo lane, so Jack, I don't know what Janitors might need to do. Maybe put some more pressure on this Scylla in mid to try to get a lead elsewhere, but things are looking a little dicey for the Janitors duo lane right now.
I think you're right. They need to find a lead somewhere else. Uller and Hercules. The small lead that they have, I think they're going to continue ahead. As you do have a fight in the solo lane.
Ooh, lots of damage coming out of the
Almost
honker
falling.
there. Good fear from Thick Kiwi to keep himself alive. Now he is going to recall. He does have that teleport available, so he won't lose too much here as Noah's going to take down that blue buff. And it's going to be right there for any Thick Kiwi as he comes back. But now the real Bilbo might be in a little bit of trouble as he stepped up about halfway up the lane. Noah is right there. Now he's blinking in, looking for something. A good evade is going to punish that blink, and that keeps the real Bilbo alive. But now it could be still in some trouble, but a good root into a crush is going to put out some damage. Final Judgment does not quite connect to skills, and this is going to be kind of a scuffed trade here. As Noah is trying to find a little bit more, does get himself rooted for his trouble. Slice and Dice comes out, putting out some damage, but Crush is going to stop that. And that might be all she wrote. There's it looks like iStuff Extreme was trying to find just a little bit more damage there to secure one of those kills, but Skills says no kills, just a root. Oh, Kid Slim now getting knocked backwards by the Hercules here. And he is going to be able to flip out, but now it's Sigmund in a little bit of trouble. He uses the beads to avoid any more danger. Takes a lot of damage from who is this user, though? Like, who is that damage?
I really want this Cupid to play a little bit more safer and respect this Hercules' presence. Sure, hit him if he's right in front of you, but he can't afford to get plucked and knocked back and burn his beads like that. Sure, he has his two, so he can just sustain in lane, but he's just going to continue to get bullied if he continues to play like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. He's got to be very careful. Now, we are still level 5, and who's this user? Looking for a little bit of a combo there. Doesn't quite find the kill, but puts out a lot of damage. That is half of Siggy's health bar just gone to the Uller combo. Now we have a little bit of a...
Any At any level, sorry, that Uller combo, being a carry main myself, is absolutely devastating. He can kill somebody from full health to zero health, no matter what level. It's really nice, really nice power and combo coming out of who is this user.
And now we have both ultimates traded in the solo lane, and that's part of the reason I like this Sun Wukong pick so much. He has the 3 that should allow him to get out of the Hercules ultimate, and he's got his own ulti, but we might see a little bit of aggression happening in the mid lane as Hercules was trying to aggress. Now it is iStuff Extreme looking for the kill. Does not quite find it. Final Judgment is being prepped. iStuff Extreme does find that kill under the tier 1 tower. Managed to dash out with his life still, but Noah is rotating around to where he is. And I don't think they've realized it. He is on Sugu. He's got a lot of range right now, but a great blink is going to get him over the wall and to safety. Nicely done by iStuff Extreme.
That is good reaction time. Maybe realizing thinking he couldn't really take on that Awilix, especially with that Scylla being right there and Thoth and Jing Chen being on their side of the mid lane. It's a good use of the blink, just getting to safety and saving his life there.
Yeah, most definitely. It's always a little bit of a shame to burn your relic on something like that, but you'd rather burn the relic than burn your life. So just a great call by Isef, and now he's stealing away the Chad over there in the duo lane. But once again, Noah is right here. Does not have Suku up though, and Isef Extreme does manage to dash out, but here's the blink from Noah, pulls him in with a great ulti, and now Isef is gonna fall to Noah, and that is gonna be a 3rd kill for Dr. Phil, really looking to fill up that stat bar.
Very scary. This Awilix is 2 levels up on the enemy jungle, 2-0. This is not what you want to see from Janitors. If this Awilix continues to just snowball and get these picks, get these kills, this is good. I feel like this might be a quick game for the Janitors.
And now Hercules looking for some aggression on that tier 1. A big baseball gonna just crush the little bird and get himself a little kill there. And that is now a 2-1 Hercules just freely diving in tier 1, and unfortunately Janitors just didn't have anyone there to respond to it, and so gave up a free kill. Now is the backhand being stolen away by Noah there. Now Ice of Extreme is looking to chase, putting out a lot of damage, but Noah's on Stuku. He's got a lot of movement speed and speed buff, so there's unfortunately no kill potential there.
Good realization of iStuff Extreme. Kind of backing off there, noticing there's two enemy mid laners in lane, and he just didn't have the speed to catch up. Nice use of not burning the ultimate there. And a Wheelix escapes.
Yeah, and then they move over to that blue buff, trying to steal that away after realizing that Noah is so low he can't go over there to contest it. But now we have a jump in from who is this user. Axe does not connect, which could give Cupid a little bit of fighting potential. But no, just look at the damage coming out from Ulan again, just dropping arrows on the poor baby. And he's actually going to stay. Siggy's staying because Kid Slim is on his way in as well, trying to find something. However, he is going to get sniffed out and is going to be pushed away. Now, Just Banter has returned to the duo lane. At this point, I don't think Siggy can afford to stay much longer. Sure, he's got the hearts to sustain himself, but Just Banter is still looking for something, looping around. He's going to try to make a play here. Now the dash is down, and here is Just Banter, but he doesn't connect with the driving strike. The baseball does not do enough damage there, and now here is iStuff Extreme trying to put some pressure back on them, but Noah has also rotated over. There's no kill potential here just yet, but there is a 3v3, and these aren't the healthiest life bars on the side of Janitors. Now they could be meeting each other in the jungle as iStuff Extreme and Noah are squaring off. But on the other side of the map, any thick Kiwi, any thick kill, I think you mean, as he does pick himself up a solo kill on the Monkey Man himself.
Going back over to that dual lane fight, I would have liked the Hercules to have just walked in there. They should have called that and chat that the Cupid speeds were down, and if he just walked in there, won-to back to Uller, they would have had a free kill there.
Now we have a fight over the red buff. Noah being taken very low. Final Judgment does not connect for the kill. But look at how low iStuff Extreme is. That is so extremely low. He should be dead right now. But he's managed to hang on to just a sliver of life and keep himself in this. Red buff does seem to go the way of the Janitors there. So it looks like they've secured it for themselves. And that's a little bit of a win. They're about 3k gold down right now. And they're going to have to find a way to stop this bleed and try to pull themselves back in. It's not too severe just yet, but if it continues this way, they could be in trouble.
Just going, wanting to go over to builds here. Looks like this Cupid might be going for the Devourer's Gauntlet, maybe into a crit build over like raw power, like your Transcendence build. What do you think about that?
I think it's okay to do that on Cupid. I definitely prefer like the power build because his heart bomb and his ultimate just hit so freaking hard. Hang on now, Boulder comes out but doesn't find the kill, doesn't find a pluck with the two either. Now it's just Banner who could be in some trouble as the Janitors are here to clean up. Mop. That is a death and a kill for the real Bilbo.
Maybe the Hercules getting a little bit too excited there. I believe he missed his 2, missed his 1. Did he miss his ultimate?
I do believe he did miss the ultimate.
I do believe he did. That was maybe a bit of a shaky play there from the Hercules. Can't afford to have that. Yeah, and he just simply just gets punished for it. Definitely needs to tidy up maybe his aggression, maybe sort of just kind of wanting to W key as the Hercules, trying to make plays around the map, but needing to obviously respect the side of Janitors with that kill potential.
Yeah, ooh, big stun coming out from the Uller here. Beats are burned. Now it comes down the Fields of Love, and that's a good mez, but it's not going to be enough as who is this user does just go right through that tower, finds himself the kill, but now the real Bilbo is here with the real rotations, picking up a return kill onto who is this user. I'm sorry, Tobias, but that's lights out, and now just Banter is maybe in some trouble here, and the Divine Judgment does come out, but I'm a monster! It's going to put out some real damage. Final Judgment is trying to find a kill, but it's going to be Kid Slim with the Whirlwind of Rage and Steel that picks up that kill onto Just Banter. Now, Real Bilbo and Kid Slim are squaring off in the mid lane. Noah lurking around the corner. I don't think they realize he's still there. Still, Skills does manage to jump out, but Noah is still waiting there, just looking at him. However, it looks like they do have some ward coverage there and are aware that Noah is looking for something.
I want to see some more maybe some more objective fights at this point in the game. Maybe tidy up those team fights. Cupid cannot afford to keep getting soloed. Um, I I don't know. I don't know, Spooky. What do you think so far? Objective wise and team fight wise from these both teams.
Well, I would say the objectives are really in Dr. Phil's field right now. They're the ones that need to be looking at this stuff. Siggy, unfortunately, doesn't have the lane pressure to step up and really clear these waves and try to create some room for an objective right now. Similarly, Noah's been spending a lot of time in this left side of the jungle. However, we do see them making a rotation, and who is this user coming in big with his damage there, but not quite enough to find a kill. Now they are going to back up, but Noah does manage to find a kill there onto the Real Bilbo, and that's going to be a huge one for them. Now Siggy is running for his life. The Shattering Earth does not connect. He does manage to get away. Now it could be some trouble for the Anythic Kiwi here. However, Sun Wukong goes up into the ultimate, trying to get that healing off as Noah picks up a kill for himself. And now the Honkler is still in there trying to find a way out, but not going to find it as who is this user? Does manage to take him down, but now it is Stuff Extreme going in, finds the kill onto who is this user, and now he's on the back end of things trying to get out, but it's actually surprising that he's still alive right now. He just walked into 4 of them, got a kill, and is still alive. And he's 2 levels down on the enemy jungler.
Like I said, this Awilix 5-0, 2 levels up. This Nemesis needs to find something around the map, whether it's more farm, counter jungling, maybe a little bit more ganks, be a little bit more aware for counter ganks. He needs to catch up. He needs to catch up somewhere to get back into this game.
Yeah, the surprising thing is, though, this goalie is actually being diminished as things go on. And that's because Dr. Phil isn't looking for those objectives. It's really on them to make the plays around the map right now. If they don't make the move, janitors are just going to keep on farming, and they're eventually going to get to a point where they can look for the objectives themselves.
That last fight looked pretty clean on the side of Dr. Phil. If you get 2 or 3 for 1, that's fine. Try to make a play for a Gold Fury. Try to bait a Gold Fury for a team fight. I would like to see a little bit more aggression on these objectives from Dr. Phil.
Yeah, like you said, they had a good team fight. It was clean. They got what they wanted, but then they stayed a little bit too long. And granted, janitors were just kind of running into them one at a time, feeding them the kills they wanted. But even after they got that, they still stuck around and let ISF Extreme just dive into them 1v4, pick up a kill, and not find the return. Now ISF Extreme is trying to steal away that Chad. Does manage to find it before who is this user sneaks in there to secure it. Now he's going to turn his attention to the oracles, and this is really what you need to be doing at this point in the game. You're a little bit behind, so you just kill all the camps that are up as much as you can. Kill the enemy camps if you can, and deprive them of XP while getting your own. Now, Kid Slim might be up a little too far there, but he is going to back off, not going to get collapsed on just yet. So really mostly just poking and farming in this mid lane here is really the solo laners are starting to rotate around the map as well. We see Anythic Kiwi is over in the mid lane right now. That's going to leave the Honkler some time to go farm up in the solo lane by himself. He is a level down right now. 3 deaths to his name. Hades only with 1 of those kills, though, mind you. Now he is going to rotate back before the Honkler can get too much off this. Dashes right on in onto Honkler, but they're both solos. Not too much going to happen. However, I'm a Monster goes wide over on the red buff, and that is going to be a secured buff for the janitors, and not a whole lot for Dr. Phil here. Jack, it's starting to feel like maybe Dr. Phil is just committing too many resources and not really getting enough out of their commitment. However, some trouble might be brewing in this duo lane. Kid Slim is here trying to lock down Noah, but he is actually just going to show face. That's going to be enough to send Noah packing away on Suku. Or who is this user stepping up a little aggressively, taking some dangerous pathing through this jungle? However, he does have skills and just banter lurking nearby to rotate if needed. This could actually be a bait from the side of Dr. Phil there, but they're actually going to rotate back into mid lane looking for the real Bilbo. Kid Slim is jumping his way down, trying to get there in time, but it's not going to be enough as just banter says just enough. Takes the kill, but Whirlwind of Rage and Steel is going to throw him right back into the tower. And also the Nemesis, big damage coming from the Crush and a great double root there. And now Noah is here as well, trying to find some damage onto Istuff Extreme, and find it he does. Sends Istuff all the way back to the jungle. Now he's
And
gonna,
this Thoth is free pickings for this Hercules. I think this Hercules has finished him off all three of his deaths, I believe. So this Thoth needs to respect the Hercules presence and maybe not play up too far on him.
yeah, and now we finally see Dr. Phil is starting to head towards this Gold Fury about 18 minutes into the game, but there's only 2 members of the Janitors nearby to contest. However, they are going to drop it and maybe look for this fight, see if they get a deicide here, but Sun Wukong goes right up into that cloud, get the healing off. And now Siggy is also around, ready to show face, and I don't think they really needed to drop that Fury there, Jack. They had a big numbers advantage, 5v2. They could have just sent pretty much just Herc and maybe Hades after them, zoned them off with those 2 members, and just burned through the Fury real quick.
I I believe that could have been the play too, or just rotated on it when they got the free kill onto the Thoth. Your mid laner's down. That's a huge team fight presence, huge Gold Fury damage that you guys could get as well. I think that's a little bit of a misplay on the side of Dr. Phil.
Yeah, so now we are going to be 19 minutes in. No objectives taken just yet. And by no objectives, I mean no objectives. We have all towers standing, Pyromancer standing, Gold Fury standing. The only thing you could possibly say as an objective is maybe the Oracles. Those were taken. Ah, the Totem of Ku! What a fool I've been! The Totem of Ku has indeed been taken this game. By which side, I don't know. Hopefully both. However,
Our gosh darn observer needs to be on those totem of coup takes.
yeah, honestly, this one's just a spectator diff. Now you see Toth is at these mid camps, but so is Noah and Scylla. They're right there. So this could be dangerous positioning, but however, he's not spotted out. Nothing happens just yet. But these minions are trying to push into this tier 1. They can't have that. Noah trying to find the knockup, but look at the damage he does without the knockup. Kid Slim is all the way up there, but I don't think he can really engage just yet with as far behind as his team is right now. About 3,000 XP behind Dr. Phil right now. And we do see a lot of positioning around this mid lane, but it's not really going anywhere, Jack. We've seen a lot of people around mid lane, but there's a big pluck coming out of Hercules, but a great beat and an invade and punish is going to get Toad out of there. Real Bilbo still alive for the time being. Now Istuff Extreme is all the way up there by himself, trying to find skills, not finding it, as instead he's found by who is this user. Now Bilbo is just too far back to really impact this fight, as he's so low right now. Now I'm a Monster is ready, but so is the Whirlwind of Rage and Steel. Fields of Love come up, and it's going to lock down the Hercules, but not for long enough as the tower does go down. Honkler does manage to find a kill, but at the same time, it is any thick Kiwi picking up a kill for himself. But now, who is this user? Who is this double kill? That's going to be a huge win for Dr. Phil. And I would say this is a Gold Fury. I would say it's possibly even a Fire Giant call, but they are going to settle just for the Fury.
These team fights have been all over the place on the side of Janitors. You're letting Dr. Phil walk at you. Your Thoth is getting down to a quarter HP, and then your Nem is just diving in all by herself into 4 people and dying. They need to be as a team. They need to tidy up these team fights. This game was even until that Gold Fury. Dr. Phil is a little bit ahead now, but I would like them to tidy up these team fights and work as a team for the rest of the game.
Yeah, this game is definitely far from over. Like you said, if they just tidy up their team fighting, get together a little bit more, it really feels like they're just kind of doing their own individual thing. I mean, Nemesis was in so deep just by herself, had no one there to help peel or distract anyone from her. Toth had been taken so low, as you said, that he had to hang back because at the same time, Noah was lurking in that mid alley there between the mid camps and the back camps, so he couldn't step up. Otherwise, he was just going to get insta-gibbed by the Awelish.
And when the Nemesis died, Dr. Phil, they just walk at you, and then Janitors decides to turn and fight. Like just try and fight as five. Like you work better as a unit rather than working as a 4-person unit against a 5-man unit and being 1 man down.
Absolutely. Now, I can only imagine that the next objective we'll be seeing these teams fight over is this fire giant that is spawned in. Maybe the pyromancer is. It is an objective Janitors could take right now, if with a little bit of trouble from Dr. Phil, as they are positioned around it right now. And unfortunately, they're grouped as 5 here right now, and Janitor's still a little spread out. And I can't say I blame them too much, as Cupid is still pretty far down. He needs to get some farming done, and if Janitors is able to stall this one out as they're doing right now, putting some good damage out, now Sun Wukong is forced up into that ultimate, and a great evade and punish from the real Bilbo is going to get him out of trouble there. However, Ice Stuff Extreme does manage to find the kill onto who is this user, and now Skills is also in a lot of danger. Managed to find the jump through the wall, but this is actually the fight that the Janitors want right now. However, now Ice Stuff Extreme is a little bit secluded. At the same time, Wheelish has found the kill onto the real Bilbo. He has been just running around unseen here. Beasts are forced out with the Whirlwind of Rage and Steel, and now Amy Kiwi's jumping in, and now that's a great pull from Noah, but it's just to disengage as they are still on the back foot here. And this has been a great job from the Janitors so far, but with these health bars, they need to call it off and back up. Maybe go for this Pyromancer that is here, but instead they're going to go for that red buff, which is still, that's still a fair choice, but they don't take it away. They don't take it away. They don't kill the red buff. It's
I
Jack.
I I don't know if you noticed, but that Cupid was pushing out that long lane in that team fight. Maybe if he had rotated over a little bit earlier while that Hercules was wanting to push that lane back out, maybe they could have killed the last 3 health bars in that mid lane, because everybody was around 2, 3, 400 HP, and that Cupid at that build right now, he easily could have cleaned that up.
Yeah, I think it works out fine. They get 2 towers in that long lane. Cupid gets his level 19, gets a lot of gold for it. And take a look. What was a 6k gold differential is now about 2,000 ish. So they didn't lose the fight. They actually kind of won that fight, even as a 4v5, and they got a big gold swing in their favor. I think that went great for Janitors, but now the Fire Giant is being looked at by Dr. Phil. Crush comes out, doesn't quite find it, but a great pluck, and that's gonna be huge. A wheel just pulling Nemesis right on in. Now anything Kiwi is gonna finally secure that kill. Now the Honkler is up in the air. Janitors has destroyed the Pyromancer. They managed to secure that, and this fight could be going their way. Kid Slim picking up a kill on anything Kiwi, but now Noah is on top of the real Bilbo. I'm sorry, Siggy, and he does manage to find that kill. However, they do still have a slight advantage here, but no, real Bilbo dashes right into Noah. That's going to be a double kill for Noah now, and this fight is going to pieces now. Kid Slim might be next to fall. Manages to get a good jump out of the way there. The Honkler is trying to put some damage out with the cudgel, but that's going to be a triple kill for Noah now. He is divine, and the Honkler is the only one remaining on this Fire Giant defense, but they have done a good job of taking them low, so they can't do it for free just yet. Honkler may be looking to try to shut down Noah here, but he's going into the Tiger stance. Suku comes out, does not manage to find the stun, and the cudgel manages to connect, but unfortunately, Noah just has so much movement speed right now, he's going to be able to walk away from it.
And I don't know if you saw that Awelix was more or less at like a little kid's lemonade stand at their backline there, 25 cents for you, 25 cents for you, 25 cents you, picking up everybody in that backline. No peel for the real Bilbo. This Uelix is huge right now, and if they can't find a way to shut her down, then I don't know. The game is still really close with Dr. Phil getting that Fire Giant. Maybe this is where they want to look to end the game.
All right, Jack, first, I'm not saying you're wrong, you're correct. I've never heard that expression before in my life.
Now you heard it. Now you heard it.
But yeah, it does end up being a pretty free fire giant for Dr. Phil. Sure, it was a tough fight before it, but unfortunately for janitors, they were sent home as practically a deicide, only one left standing. And Dr. Phil pretty much had everyone up and ready to just come back and grab the fire. So, all in all, not a terrible trade for Dr. Phil. I do want to mention, though, at the end of that fight, janitors had actually somehow closed up the gold lead a little bit more, so that it was only about 1K difference. Unfortunately, with the fire giant falling immediately after that, it's going to bump that right back up and not going to matter a whole lot. Now we do see a tier 2 defense, but that is a big pluck now. It forces out the beads from Siggy. Those are down, and that's going to be huge for this defense. They're going to have to give this one up, but Nemesis is in the back line trying to cause some disruption, and disrupt she does, but unfortunately no kill there just yet, and not enough to defend that tier 2. Now we have Dr. Phil rotating as a 5-man squad over to this Primal Fury, and Jack, I think this is what the difference is. You see how Dr. Phil is moving, then you take a look how Janitor's is moving. Real Bilbo is back between these Phoenixes. Honkler's all the way over in solo lane right now. And as a 3-man group with Ice Stuff, Kid Slim, and Siggy, there's no way they can even try to defend that Primal Fury against the full 5-man power of Dr. Phil with Fire Giant.
Yeah, I I would have liked them to at least get that long lane tier 2 tower um as well, and then go to the primal and then and then reset and look for a phoenix and look for another push while they still have that fire. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, janitors can't really contest that. They just want to look to protect those phoenixes at this point.
Yeah, this is really just kind of a farm game for them at this point, but they are doing a pretty good job of catching back up. Interestingly, it is the real Bilbo who's now fallen behind, level 18 to Scylla's 20. And really, I think that's more because Noah has just been able to get on him every single fight and just make his life hell. Now we see a little bit of grouping on this tier 2 from Dr. Phil. Janders are a little too spread out to do a proper defense, and I do think they just have to let this one fall. And indeed they do, just give that one up. I think that's a good decision from them. But now I say they're positioned a little bit too far up. They want to be back further on their Phoenix, and they are retreating back that way as Noah is in from the jungle now. Stilla throws a little bit of a scouting crush, doesn't find anything with it there. But now the minions are coming in, and we see 2 members of Dr. Phil are rotating over to that mid lane for a 3-2 split here. All Janitors has to do is stall this out, but here's Anything Kiwi jumping in, trying to find something. Doesn't quite find it, but look at the damage coming from Zilla. I'm a monster secures the kill onto Ziggy. Trying to drop it down, does find the Honkler, but now Anything Kiwi's in the ultimate, putting out a lot of damage, taking very low himself. Boulder comes out, but so does the final judgment. That's gonna put the nail in Anything Kiwi's coffin. Golden Bow procs are trying to hit Kid Slim there. Sorry, Odysseus's bow. And now this fight still rages on the Phoenix line. Real Bilbo able to put out a lot of damage from the safety of that Phoenix with his Wall of Pain there. And that is going to be a successful defense here, taking Fire Giant off of one member of Dr. Phil, pushing them back a little ways. But they are still here looking for a little bit more. They don't have a minion wave just yet. That gives Janitors time to just reset. Now they're rotating back towards the mid lane. Real Bilbo's going to clear that wave out. And now the Fire Giant is no longer on Dr. Phil, which gives Janitors an opportunity here. Now Kislim is going in, looking for something. That Earthing Strike does not connect. Boulder comes out once again, but not going to find too much damage there, as it just connects onto the tanks. Now look at the solo lane, Jack. They've got Winions over there trying to push. They do get it. They get the tier 2. But now look at how low they are over there. Who is this user? Just barely surviving right now. His life bar is so low. They do get the Pyromancer. But the Fire Giant is what's going to be coming up next. And that's where this next fight is going to happen. We're reaching the point where the gold lead doesn't really matter a whole lot. And even if it did, it's only about 7,000 difference. Less than 7,000 at 32 minutes now. It's not that huge of a deal for Janitors right now.
It's not that huge, but with enhanced fire coming up, I believe after 30 minutes is enhanced fire.
Mhm.
They need to contest and they need to fight as five, and this duelist cannot afford to get to the back line. If Dr. Phil gets this enhanced fire, they'll probably just run down mid and end.
Yeah, and they are heading to it right now. They've put wards down on it. Surprised they haven't started it up, as this is pretty free right now. Look at where janitors are on the map. They know this enhanced fire giant is up on the map right now. They know they don't see Dr. Phil. They need to get over there right now.
They have no ward coverage over there at all. They they need to be prepared with the ward coverage as soon as that comes up. That is the biggest objective right now. That is what they need to be focusing for.
Yeah, one could say we need wards.
We need wards. Where my we need ward fans at?
And now they do have the better position here, Dr. Phil, that is. They've got the advantage in grouping right now. Jander's still a little bit split up. Nemesis sent back to the base, so now they have the numbers advantage as well. That's a big knockup coming from the Fire Giant, though, and look at it, it's being melted so quickly, already half health, but two members of Janitors have gotten in. There's a third one there. They're looking for more. Final Judgment being readied up. Not enough to find it. Dr. Phil does secure the Fire Giant, and this is going to be a big fight. They are low. Who is this user? Could still fall here. The Honkler was looking for it, but he's going to drop it. But here comes the Blink from Ice Extreme, finding the kill. That's going to be a big pick for them. Now Kid Slim is up in the middle of Dr. Phil right now, looking for more. Ice Extreme has found a way to loop around. Crush comes out, does not connect though. Ice Extreme is now by himself, has to dash out. Now it's a little bit of a lost engagement for Janders now. They didn't
Yeah.
quite find the opportunity, but that's a big pluck and a bigger pull coming from Noah onto Sig. That's going to be a kill. And now the Honkler is in a lot of trouble as well. He gets the mantle proc, but Crush is going to crush his dreams of getting away, putting him in the dirt right then and there. Now this is a four-man squad with enhanced Fire Giant chasing down the Janitors, looking to do some cleaning up themselves. They don't quite get the knockup, but look at the damage from that Feather Step. Just about one-shots Bilbo. And now Ice Stuff Extreme and Kid Slim are the only ones surviving to make this defense against this powerful squad with this buff. Kid Slim is giving his best, but unfortunately he's just one man against four, and he is going to fall to a Kiwi now. Ice Stuff Extreme is here, ready for the defense, seeing what he can put out. Is going to be a challenge as Nemesis with no AoE. Here comes the Divine Judgment. He's getting melted real quick. Does manage to find a way back to base. Beads is an expected Feather Step, doesn't quite find it. That's a big pull coming from Noah. That's going to be Noah's Immortal, a deicide. And that's game number one goes to Dr. Phil.
That last team fight hurt me, Spooky.
Yeah, I know. Janitors had a great opportunity there. Unfortunately, it seemed like they were kind of all on a different page, and no one really committed to it when they could have gotten a pretty good fight there and picked a couple members out.
Nemesis getting the pick on Uller, the Jing Chen having a really nice gap close. You have them on the back foot. That solo laid tier 2 towers down.
Mhm.
Gap close, get in there with your ultimate. I feel like they could have got a bit more out of that if they committed to that fight. Then they had 3 people retreating, 2 were still trying to fight. They got picked off by Noah and maybe like the Hercules that were still up there with the enhanced fire. I really would have liked to see Janitors take that fight at the end there. Unfortunate, but nice to see Dr. Phil, realizing people are caught out, taking those kills, free pickings, if you will, and just grouping up and realizing they can end the game and taking game one.
Yeah, Dr. Phil coming in with a strong performance in their second match here. I mean, take a look at those damage numbers, and Noah going immortal, 11-0 in the entire game. And that's to be commended, especially with 14 wards placed. Now, if you don't remember season one very well, Noah had an average ward of 1.
Hmm.
So
One word.
14 now is pretty good. Pretty damn good for him. But if you're Janitors looking towards game number 2, what do you think you need to do differently? Is it something in picks and bans? Is it just the gameplay? What do you think, Jack?
Uh, because Dr. Phil likes to run some weird teams, like some weird comps, you can ban the meta people like the Freya, Olorin, Cthulhu, whatever, and they'll just come out with this totally different team comp and still frag with it.
Shing Jungle.
Jing, Jing Jungle. But do Willix needs to be a priority ban in game two. And Noah can still play other gods, maybe not as good as the Willix. I think it's gonna come down to picks and bans and gameplay. They need to be fighting as a team. Maybe some better builds coming out of the side of um janitors as well. I want to see them fight as a team. I want to see them not split up. I want to see them contest objectives when they can. When they're behind, not saying that they're behind really at all that game, but when they're behind, know they're behind. When they're ahead, know they're ahead. It looked like they're being scared most of that game. Can you agree with me? I feel like they're being a little bit scared to really contest anything with Dr. Phil. I feel like a couple things need to change for game two. I really want to see janitors come out a bit more aggressive, especially in that dual lane. Maybe pick like a Hu Yi, um, Hu Yi. I can't.
Wooler.
Uller. I mean, the Cupid was fine. Um, yeah, I think it needs to be more of a team effort in game two if janitors want to have a chance of taking the game on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if I'd say scared, but definitely the team aspect of it. It did seem like they weren't on the same page. Like they weren't really grouped around those objectives when Dr. Phil was. I mean, you would see three, four, or five members of Dr. Phil moving to an objective. Then you'd see like two or three of janitors going towards it, but then you'd see the others kind of just going to opposite ends of the map. And I really think they need to tighten that up a little bit if they want to come ahead in game two here. I do want to touch on those builds real quick. As interestingly, Sun Wukong opted not to get the standard Soul Eater that's been so prevalent on him and really kind of pushed him into popularity. Instead, he opted for the Brawler's Beat Stick as a first item against that Hades into a Pestilence afterwards. And I'm not I understand the thinking behind it. Obviously, you want to mitigate that healing from Hades. You have to build anti heal against Hades. But I think completely forgoing that Soul Eater may have been a mistake, as it just kind of it mitigates Sun Wukong's ability to trade in lane and poke and sustain.
Yeah. Like you have the Divine Ruin on Thoth, the Beat Stick on Nem. I don't really think the Sunwoo needed the brawlers. Maybe change the brawlers out for a Soul Eater, keep the Pestilence. You could get a Contagion on the Jingchen, maybe even another Pestilence. Especially with the Hades and the Hercules, I would have liked the Jing to have gotten another piece of anti-heal. Cupid, you're fine build wise. Maybe not the Deathbringer. I don't know. Maybe opt for more of a power build if you're gonna go Cupid. Thoth build is okay. Nem. I don't know about the Erendite. Um,
I think the
yeah.
Erendite's a good pickup on Nemesis. Once you
Uh,
drop that ultimate on someone and get that boost, that's going to be exactly what Nemesis wants, that extra power and movement speed. So I
yeah,
like that pickup.
but not a crit build, especially
Uh,
into Hades. It isn't gonna be. I mean, yeah, never mind. He did build sort of tanky, but I guess it's still under Uller. You don't think so?
No, I kind of like what he did there with the Arndite because they had a lot of ability to get away. So especially against a Wheelish, that extra movement speed can be very helpful. As for Cupid's build, if he's gonna go crit, I would like to see him get maybe Wind Demon instead of that Deathbringer. Uh, I would have preferred to see like a Power Pen build. Maybe he could fit either Toxic Blade or Brawler's Beat Stick onto his. I don't really like the double beat stick on the comp as it doesn't stack with itself. So I
Hmm.
definitely would have liked to see Sun Wukong switch it out for like Soul Eater or something to keep himself in the game. However, what I do really like is Talisman of Energy because that item is never built, and I think it's awesome.
If
So
we could get a hover over the Talisman of Energy, so I could read what. Oh, never mind. I
absolutely not,
can't read
Jack.
what it is.
And Dino has now broken our spectator. Thank you, Dino. Oh, thank you. He's fixed it. Now, looking at picks and bans for game number 2, personally, I would like to see Hercules taken off the board here, Jack. What do you think?
Yeah, that Hercules just said hello to Thoth every time, said "Honey, I'm home," and just gave him the right and left and mid lane to bop bop, and
Jack,
kind
are
of
you
just
talking
walked
about
at him.
are you talking about abuse right now?
No, 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 no. That's not me. That's not me. No, don't worry, don't worry. That's
Honey, I'm
not what I
home.
meant
Bop
at all.
bop. I don't know about that one, Jack.
I've been exposed. I have to leave
We
now.
do have a Tsukuyomi ban, which may have been a misclick as he is banned in the competitive league already. So that ban not really necessary. May have been a misclick, which deprived them of one.
And with the Loki ban as well, I think this is scuffed. I think we might. Yeah, we're gonna be heading into a new
Okay,
pick
so
and
they
ban
did
phase.
indeed mess up some settings, and we will be remaking this lobby. I do believe there's a penalty for that. I believe they have to give me 8,000 gems each. So that
Spooky,
is,
as if you don't have enough gems and you
I
almost have
never have
a
enough
thousand skins.
gems.
You almost have 1,000 skins, Spooky. Okay, save
I
some gems for the rest of us, please.
definitely, I do not have. Shut up, Jack.
Look at Dino with this
Um,
485 gems. Hey,
uh,
Dino, could we just get a look at your daily deals here, please, before we head into game 2?
yeah, I would like to see those, Dino. I would like to see those. Is there a Bologna skin in there? If so, Kanzanity would be very upset. No Bologna
Slaughterhouse
skin.
Shock, Prize Fighter Mercury,
Is that a Terra skin though?
Terra skin, bottom one, yeah.
I think
Spriggan.
Tabo would be a little upset.
Spriggan.
Well, there's the worst Cupid skin. Can we go back to that Cupid skin for just a second? And I want to tell you guys why I hate it so much. All right,
Because you hate candy corn.
I love candy corn actually,
Okay, I
but
hate candy
look at
corn, so.
okay. Well, you're weird, but look at it for a second. Look at it. You it's a sheet ghost, right? So you
Yeah.
got the eyes cut out. You can see his eyes. Obviously, it falls over his nose, so you can see the nose. Why can you see his mouth? Why does it go in like that? Why does it do that? It makes me deeply uncomfortable, and I hate it. I can't stop seeing it, and it bothers me deeply. Look at
Yeah,
it.
we
The
we have a
sheet just
code
like
876 exactly.
folds to his mouth, and it's nasty.
Maybe it's just his skin. Maybe it's just glued to his face. Who knows?
I
Who
hate it.
knows
It's
what Trick or
creepy.
Treat Cupid was thinking at this time? Who knows? Let him live his life, dude. Look at how cute he is.
He's not cute. He's creepy as all hell.
Okay, then look at the kids below him looking cute and having fun, okay?
Jack, do you need to tell us something?
No, no, no. I'm
No?
just saying that skin looks cute, dude. That's all. That's all. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm not getting exposed for a second time.
We are now queued up to re-spectate here. We'll be getting to the game shortly as soon as Tobias realizes how to properly make a game in the Reap Smite League. Dino. Dino. Move. Don't do no.
Hey, Dino, could
I like
you,
you can see his like face underneath, like
Dino,
you see the skin
Dino,
around his eyes.
Dino, could you snipping tool the face of that Cupid skin and just spam paste it in the general chat for Spooky to see?
Could you not do that? Can we not do that? Could we never ever do that ever in a million years ever do that? Dino, don't do it.
Unfortunate. It's okay though.
I don't know that I trust that statement. I have a feeling I'm going to exit this cast. Dino. Okay, I was gonna say I could see you tabbed out. Now we are back in picks and bans for the second time, and this is a much more reasonable ban. In the first slot is Cthulhu being taken off the board. And there is indeed the Hercules ban we were discussing just a few moments ago. I really like this decision to take him off the board. Just Banter looked really good on him, and he just in the real Bilbo's face all the time, preventing him from doing really much of anything in that game.
Now he has a reason to go back to his KA support.
I would still like to see something else.
Yeah, me too.
I would like to see what else Just Banter has in those deep, deep pockets. Or even perhaps a switch as they send Just Banter to the jungle and Noah to solo, and then
Oh
anything he
no.
goes to support. But instead, we're just going to see Freya locked in by who is this user. And really, who is this user? Who is this guy picking up Freya? Like, wow. That's
Some weird.
not a
I don't
good
know.
sign.
I don't know. I don't know who he is. I think his name starts with a T, ends with a S. Tobias?
Sounds
Tobus?
about right. Now we see a Horus locked in, and I kind of like this as a response to Freya. Horus has a lot of early aggression, so if you're looking for a support to put a Freya behind, I would say Horus is one of the ones to do it. He can get in her face so easily. He's got that stun, the knockup, and it just puts a lot of kill potential in that lane onto this Freya. And they're going to pair it up with this Agni as well, who additionally has a lot of lockdown potential. Those AoE stuns are massive in the later stages of the game, being able to stun out 2, 3 members of a team at a time. I think this is a good draft so far. However, we're going to have to redo that draft as we have left the lobby.
Hey, time for a live chest opening, Dino. Woo! Chest opening.
Um,
Chest
I,
opening.
well, I don't know if the lobby was canceled or if Dino just got kicked out because he's gotten kicked out before because he's an unruly customer.
Oh.
Oh, Crystal Fay Isis skin. You get
we,
nothing. It's
we
just
can't
blank.
we can't even see it. Dino got ripped off. Yay.
That's what you get. The blackest, most metal gift of all. Nothing.
No, Dino. Mm-mm.
All right.
Low
Well,
res.
you gotta navigate to the skin for us. You navigate to the skin. Go show us Crystal Fay Isis. Indeed, we are on our way to go see Crystal Fay Isis. And wow, look at those skins. Wow, fantastic. I think we're about to get into the picks and bans. Indeed, we
Oh,
are,
here
as
we go.
Cthulhu is once again banned away, followed by the Hercules. Now, we saw they picked a Baron for Dr. Phil. Do you expect that to be solo, support, or mid lane?
So it is Dr. Phil, so you don't okay, so you don't know what they're gonna go, where they're gonna go. I'm gonna go with Baron support. I'm gonna throw it out there. We got a Baron support.
Baron support. You know what? I hate it, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was exactly what it was. However,
Along with
it's
this
not
Horus.
on just banter, so it might not be.
Oh, but okay. But on with this Horus, as you were there, we are the KA support. Yes, just banter. Let's go. Okay, so that might be a Baron solo. But going back to this Horus on the side of Janitors, the early pressure to get on the Freya because Freya has no mobility. She's very weak early game. I want to see a Hu Yi or a Uller, um, maybe a Jingwei dash in, even though Jingwei isn't really that strong early level. Um, if they want to have a chance of winning the dual lane compared to last game where Dr. Phil kind of just ran at them, I want to see a more of aggressive Hunter come out of the side of Janitors.
You know who I'd like to see paired with this Horus? I would like to
Uh,
see an on her.
Artemis. Oh, sorry.
No. No, what's wrong with you, Jack? Why are you like this? I would
Sorry.
like to see an on her. Use that setup from Horus to set up the on her stun and just absolutely melt the Freya. He's good early. He's got CC immunity in his kit, so they're not going to be able to just banish him away if he chooses to use that ultimate. And he's got actually pretty good safety. He's got a good jump, and he's got a lot of range. I would like to see it.
Yeah, yeah. We don't see a lot of Anne here. Would be a bit of a spicy pick. But going to this Bologna really quick. This is the Honkler's main god, I believe. So maybe so maybe he can sort of run that solo lane. I know it's more of a back and forth lane in that solo lane um with the Hades and Sun Wu, but it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Maybe it's the Baron against the Bologna. We'll see.
Yeah, I would expect it to be Baron in that solo lane. Dr. Phil is tricky. They're playing King Arthur support, so it could be a Baron in mid. That would be a surprise to be sure. However, it is going to be a Hachiman that's going to be locked in for the Janitors. I don't know if I like this one as much. He's got good
Yeah,
poke, but Hachi just doesn't have a lot of aggression in the early levels. Really, he doesn't have a lot of aggression throughout the whole game. He's very much kind of a traditional hunter where he hangs back, he puts out his damage consistently and safely, but he doesn't have really burst damage in his kit. And that's going to be a Loki, which is going to be in the hands of who is this user, aka Tobias, I would assume. I mean, I assume that that's what they're doing. So
Loki
we
carry.
may be seeing a role switch
Oh,
here.
oh, maybe.
I can't believe they pulled out the Loki. I I
Unless
don't like
anything,
it.
Kiwi's gonna pull out a really thick Loki gameplay. Uh oh, Loki mid. Oh, yeah, it will be who is this user on Loki.
I I will tell you now. I expect this to be Loki mid, and then skills will probably be going to the carry role with the Freya, obviously. At man, what am janitors? Listen, I believe in you. Don't lose to a Loki. Don't lose to a Loki. I do greatly prefer the janitors draft here. Now, Freya is definitely one of the best gods in the game right now, and she's a very, very strong pick. But I think janitors have a better overall draft. They've got a great team fight between Agni, Hunbats, and Bologna. They've got good mobility with Horus. They've got good safety with Agni and Hachiman. They've got good objective secures,
Good lockdown with
good
the
lockdown.
with the Horus and the Bologna ulti along with the Agni stuns.
Yeah, I really like what the janitors have drafted here. The question is, can they pull together as a team unit and put it into practice? Because that's where they were struggling in the last game, was acting as a unit. So they're gonna have to clear that up, get the last game out of their heads, treat this as a brand new game, get in there, and just do what this team comp wants them to do, and that is team fight. Team fight, team fight, team fight.
Fantastic team fight. Yeah. If they work together as five, they will win 9 out of 10 times in team fights against this team, especially with a Loki and sort of a King Arthur that don't really do much. King Arthur maybe is good at separating the back line, but Loki's just kind of there. Freya, they need to hop on this Freya. This Hunbass needs to ult this Freya on cooldown so she can't just sustain and deal massive amounts of damage that she's known to do.
Yeah, if you look at what janitors have drafted and what Dr. Phil has drafted, Dr. Phil really doesn't have the peel to protect this Freya from the janitors team comp. All the janitors have to do is just jump on her.
They have a
Just
King
commit
Arthur support.
two people on her.
What more peel do you need? Am I right?
Maybe some. Like, maybe more than a knock up and a stun.
Yeah, yeah.
But they've got a lot of single target damage on Dr. Phil, with Loki and Neja both really excelling in that single target deletion. Big surprise, they're both assassins. Freya
Mhm.
really at the later stage of the game, she shreds, but she still pretty much shreds one target at a time. So I really gotta hand the team draft here to the Janitors. I think if they just execute their game plan well and focus on locking this Freya down, but also using the team they've drafted to peel for their own backliners against this Loki, I think they have a really good shot at taking this game. I
Yeah,
would like to see
this.
mm,
Yeah, go on, go on.
I would like to see some shells come out of this team. Uh,
Yeah. Mhm.
if they get that upgraded shell, it's gonna really gimp Loki. It's gonna gimp Freya. It's gonna hurt Neja a fair bit.
Hide of the Nemean too.
I don't think Hide of the Nemean is as effective. Have its changes gone live?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
Hide of the Nemean then. Yes.
Yes,
Hachi,
I
Agni,
want to hide of
pick
the
it up.
Nemean. I want to hide of the Nemean on the Hunbats, on the Agni, and on the Hachiman. Okay, I'm sending it through to the janitor's brains right now. Hide of the Nemean. Hide of the Nemean. And they will not die to this Loki.
Yeah, not only
This
that,
Loki
but
will be useless.
Loki will be gimped. Freya will be much less effective in the fights as well. Bologna already gets those block stacks, so I think Dr. Phil's going to have a hard time with this one. Janitors are no slouch, really. They had some problems in that first game one, but it's problems that can be easily rectified. They can fix those and just move on to the next game. And I think we could very well see a 3 game set out of this one.
I'm definitely hoping this goes to 3 games after janitors kind of throwing the last 5 minutes of that first game. I want them to come out a little bit stronger, work as a team, and I'd love to see a game 3.
Absolutely. Mm, Aren't going to be getting into the game shortly here. Now, I would like to see, again, early pressure put towards that duo lane. Try to get this Freya pushed down a little bit. It's going to be a little bit hard as Hunbot really only comes online at level 5, and that's when Freya is at her safest when she gets that ultimate. But if they can get maybe an early gank over there to put some pressure down, I think it'll put the Janitors in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean the Freya's ultimate is a form of, I guess, escape and safety, but she still doesn't move all that fast. She's sort of just hovering in the air and raining down 4 shots onto you. If a Hunbats is just sitting there with his ultimate or an Agni Bomb's getting ready, she will just die. They have a lot of lockdown to kill this Freya. I wanna I want to see them focus this Freya, and if they do that, I believe janitors will force a game 3.
Yeah, and notably, the team they've drafted on Dr. Phil really isn't as safe as the one they had previously. They had Uller and Scylla, both with good jumps, good escapes. They've got Loki and Freya this time. So definitely a little bit more immobile. And I think Janitors could do a good job of capitalizing on that. And is it just me, or have we been here a little bit too long?
Uh, yeah.
I think we will have to get out of this and go back into spectating because this is not putting us in the game. Cancel spectate. There we
Yeah,
go.
Dino, you
He
gotta figure out
found
how to use
it.
the
A round of
menu.
applause for Dino.
Yeah.
No one else is clapping. Okay, we heard one. Now, Jack, earlier when
Yes.
I called a high five, you said you did it and that your mic just didn't pick up the audio.
Hmm.
But just now I heard you clapping.
But I'm talking into my mic while I'm clapping. So I'm about to do a high
Jack.
five. So listen, you won't hear anything. Listen. Did you hear that actually?
Yeah, I heard that
Okay.
actually.
I did it loud enough. Okay, we're not gonna bother. So we're getting into the game here. We might be joining a little bit late, so we might have to see how the first couple minutes of this is gonna pan out.
We could probably afford to start from the beginning here just to make sure everyone gets the whole game here as we are finally getting in. You gotta love high res spectator.
High res. Goat company.
Now it is going to be Kid Slim and Noah taking the longest to get into the game. However, it is Noah who loses that race as Kid Slim gets in first. Now, as we wait for our fantastic spectator, the amazing Dino, to fix these team names and the game state, thank you, Dino, we will shortly see what these teams are picking up in their first items here. And hmm, hmm, it's gonna be tier 2 Transcendence for the Loki mid.
No, Hachimon, you don't need mana pots. Please, no.
Yeah, Mana Pot's really not necessary on Hachi because of that
No, your
passive.
passive is so good. You're just wasting money. So
Would have rather
Spooky,
seen.
5 minutes into the game, we're going to look at his mana pots, and if he doesn't have 2 mana pots by 5 minutes, I'll carry you in ranks. Deal?
That sounds like a deal to me. I need the carry.
We're we're both around 1400 MMR. I'll get you to 1470. Deal? we'll get 2 wins and I'll get you there, right, buddy?
Now, interestingly though, Baron has opted not to get a tier 1 item. Instead, he's getting that Blessing, the Health Chalice, and the Baron's Brew there. So giving himself a little bit of extra sustain. And we're going to follow this Loki and see what he does in this mid lane for just a moment here. I'll bet you he just drops a decoy and then walks away. Or he's going to walk towards Agni, take some shots, and then walk away. And could we, by chance, get some health bars going, possibly, Mr. Dino, sir? Oh, wow. So we do see a little bit of pressure in that dual lane coming from the side of Dr. Phil as they push Janitors back a little ways. A little bit of a fight happening over those mid camps there as both junglers rotate to the mid lane, and we see a little bit of shared love there as the global emotes do come out. Now it's just Banner getting very low, and there it is. Siggy picking up that first blood kill onto just Banter, trying to spin away, but to no avail. And that is what we want to see
Really,
over in that duel
really nice
lane.
pickup. I got a question for you though, Spooky. What's nicer, first blood for janitors, or Bologna grabbing the totem of coup, or
Uh,
is that or is that a
it's the
double
Totem of
win?
Coup. It's a
Double
double
win?
win,
Oh,
of course, but
more,
Totem
but
of
more
Coup
totem of
definitely
coup.
bigger.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that at that point, Dr. Phil has already lost to Totem of Coup. They should just F6. I mean, it's over. Now
Yeah.
Loki's gonna
No.
be losing some minions to the tower there, and that is the cost of a Loki mid. He doesn't quite have that good early clear and doesn't have the safety to walk up and clear the minions from range like a mage normally would. Now Annie trying to find a little bit of poke damage, but just a little bit too slow. Putting the fumes down just for that extra clear. And I do like that against a melee mid. Puts those fumes down on the minions. Make sure Loki can't just carelessly step up while also helping his clear. That's something you don't see a lot, but I do think it's something that more players could do in these situations. Now we see a little bit of a skirmish happening over in the dual lane, but not too much, Jack. Just some passive farming here. Where do you think Janitors needs to look to try to get a better lead going?
More totem of coups?
More Totem of Coups is always an acceptable answer, but unfortunately it is on cooldown. But there is a rotation happening in mid lane right now. Agni caught out of position. The dash is down, stunned out of it. This could be an easy kill for Loki, and he does pick up that kill. That was a great stun by Noah. Just a
I
little bit careless.
believe was Agni. We got there a little bit late. Agni must have 3'd the wave for the line and burn damage. I
Well, what actually
he,
happened there was he stayed a little bit too long. He saw Neja coming up and he tried to start the dash up, but as soon as he started it up, Neja threw out the sash, caught him on it, stunned him out of it, and just prevented him from going anywhere.
It also could have beats the sash.
Could have beats the sash.
Could
I
have
don't
beats
think he
it.
expected to get caught. I know when I'm playing Agni, I think, oh, I'll just press 3 and get out. Unfortunately, it doesn't always move exactly that fast. There is
Yeah.
still an opportunity to be caught, which a lot of players maybe don't expect. And in this instance, it just kind of worked against Agni here.
But even holding on to that 3, waiting until you get sashed, and then for sure get the escape off. Maybe just a bit of a misplay. We're not going to focus on it too much. Nice gank, good kill. Get this Loki the kill he deserves, and watch him go to work.
But on the other hand, here's Horus maybe looking for a little bit of engagement, but not much to be had there as Siggy is a little bit low here. And Kid Slim has backed off trying to get Siggy some solo farm, but Just Banter's just W keying at his face. But now he's out of mana, and here comes Kid Slim. Big stun, waiting it out. Knockup doesn't connect, and here's the big ulti from Just Banter. Now Kid Slim's going in to try to body block it, but Freya's in the air. Valkyrie's
Oh.
discretion does find that kill, and that's going to be a good little swing in favor of Dr. Phil. Still a little bit down in gold, but now here comes the Hoon bots. Fear no evil, but fear the monkey. As I Stuff Extreme picks up the kill, but Noah has also rotated, but it's not going to matter as I Stuff Extreme finds a double kill and somersaults right on out of there.
Really nice cleanup by the Hunbats there. Placed the ultimate perfectly, picked up the double, did what he needed to do, got out with his life. Really, really nice.
But now Noah's still looking for more. But here is Siggy trying to find some damage. But that is the ultimate coming out. The Windfire wheels take him up, but that's not enough. It's a kill for I Stuff Extreme. I'm not sure what exactly happened on the return. I know, but it's a great play all around. Now we do see things starting to shift back in favor of the Janitors now. They have amassed a slight lead, about 1,500 at this point, getting close to 2,000. They do find a good stun onto Loki, and here comes a lot of damage, but Horus not able to completely lock him down, unfortunately. Loki does use the ultimate to get out of there, gives himself a good little teleport to create some distance. Now Hoonbots is here looking for some more, though, and that's a good stun coming out, and more knockup coming
Beautiful.
down, and that's Kid Slim with the kill onto who is this user?
Beautiful team play. This is what I wanted coming out of this. Janitors to be working together. They got the lead. Up about 2,000 now. Just continue farming efficiently and look for these objectives around the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, this looks so much better than game one from the Janitors. They are working together. They're moving as a unit, a 3-man unit, to collapse on these kills and turn things in their favor. They've gotten themselves a 2k gold lead. I'd like to see them try to take it even further. Gold Fury's still a little bit early to start up, but if they keep playing this way, they're going to be able to start it up fairly soon, I'd say. Now we're seeing
no doubt, no
damage
doubt.
onto the wave there. Loki and King Arthur both grouped here. Decoy not really able to do a whole lot there. Does clear the minions fairly effectively now, as Loki does have his Transcendence online. Got 10 stacks on that. Now Agni's going to rotate to his red buff, pick that up, get some solo farm. He has a level over the Loki despite having a death now. So all around, this is looking pretty good for Janitors. And now Kid Slim is going in. Agni is forced to dash out. Fear no evil comes down once again. Ultimates don't quite connect, but they are still going on the King Arthur. But who is this user going right onto Agni, who has no people right now? But the shell comes out. That's going to be helpful, but it's not enough. Beats are burned, and that is going to be a fight in favor of Dr. Phil. As now Noah is here. Windfire wheels come out, taking him up into the air, but Kid Slim is still pretty tanky. Manages to fight a good dash out, but that's not going to be enough, as the bleed does take the bird's life.
Beautiful, beautiful counter gank. They burned quite a bit on the King Arthur there. Beautiful counter gank by the Neja, and just capitalizing on that cleanly.
Here we got a trade happening in this duo lane, and both ultimates are traded out there. C managed to keep his life, but unfortunately, I think he got the worst end of this deal, as Freya has that passive life steal, has the purple boots, and now Noah's rotating over. This could be very bad if Siggy stays. He's stepping up a little bit too far, I'd say. He does sniff this out. He's trying to find a way out, but the blink comes down. Sash connects, and that's going to be a kill for Noah. However, he's got two right here. Horus is in the ultimate looking for something, but who is he looking for? It's not Noah, it's the Freya! And he does find the kill onto that one as Ice of Extreme was already on top of her.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too greedy on the side of Siggy, maybe thinking he could have killed the Freya if she walked up a little bit too far, but if you had wards up in your side of the jungle, which it looks like you have one, you would have saw that Neja rotate again. Unfortunate, and he gets punished for it.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, as you said, but still, gotta say, they are still looking better. This game is much more contested than the first one right now. They have lost the mid tower, which is, kind of an effect of the Loki mid being able to group those minions and easily clear them as the game goes on. But still, maybe not exactly what you want to see, losing that tier 1 tower before 10 minutes. Now we have a rotation over here into the solo lane. And the ultimate comes out from both Nejat and Baron Samdi. And who is this user? Gonna pick up the kill with that Loki ult. Now we see these teams just kind of returning to parity, looking for more farm. And now Janitors are still actually in a slight lead gold-wise, though it may not seem like it with the way the scoreboard looks. 8 kills to 6. Just banter, just aggressing onto Kid Slim here. Now the XP also pretty even right now, but slightly negligibly in favor of Dr. Phil, or I'm sorry, Janitors as well. But it is Horus who's one level down on his counterpart, but at the same time, Bologna one level up on Baron Samdi, and notably, Siggy and Skills are the same level right now, so that's really good on Hachiman's part, I'd say. She
Just a quick note of just bring your attention to it. The Shogun's second item on the Bologna.
Oh, this could be a bad spot for Tobias as he does fall to Ice Stuff Extreme. Now just banter all alone, but it is a pull back call from the Janitors, and I like it. They don't have a lot of vision on the enemy right now, so they back it up. Don't risk it too much. But yeah, I want to go back to that Shoguns that you were talking about. Definitely an interesting choice. But I mean, it makes sense against this Baron. But hang on, Fear No Evil is coming out, and this is a lot of damage being put down. ISF Extreme is on a rampage right now. Not quite literally, but he's going on to just banter as well. Stun comes out from the real Bilbo, isn't able to lock him down entirely. Just Banter is so low right now. They do find that kill, and now Neja very low as well. Honkler with a double kill, and now they're going right to this Pyromancer. I love it, Jack. I love it.
I love
They're
it.
going
Let's go.
for the objectives. Let's go.
This is what I wanted to see out of Janitors working as a team. Hunbats ulting off of cooldown, realizing it's probably the best teamfight ultimate in the game. Really nice kill on the Baron. Really nice collapse on the right side jungle there. Knowing that they're ahead, the death timers were long enough that they could secure the pyro back and reset. Beautiful.
Could be Siggy in some trouble here as Tobias is lurking in the corners here, looking for maybe an ult onto him. Not quite able to find it though. He does get back to the safety of his tier 1. Now Kid Slim is also looking for him, not able to find the lockdown. But I want to go back once more to the Shogun's Kusari that we were attempting to discuss before that fight. I like it into that Baron. It's going to make her trading better, not only with the protections, but also because it gives her that attack speed increase. It's going to give Hachiman an attack speed increase, and it may seem stupid, but Agni also an attack speed increase. And that's only important because he stacks his passive with those basic attacks, right? So the more he's able to have that up, the faster, the better for his team.
And that crowd control, especially, that it brings.
Yeah, especially since most of Dr. Phil's crowd control is single target. If they're trying to lock down the Bologna, it's not going to be able to be as effective as it otherwise would be. And now look, Janitors are on the go. Fury starting that up. They get it for free. I love it. Jack, is this the same team? Is this the same team? Because they look so much better right now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were stream sniping us. Who knows? Maybe they were listening.
Oh, but
This
on the
is
other hand,
this is really
Noah
nice.
does find the Honkler over in that solo lane with the help of any thick Kiwi. But here comes Ice Up Extreme, maybe looking to find something. Ult on to Noah, and here comes Horus right through the wall. That's a kill for Ice Up Extreme. But they aren't going to look for the Baron, surprisingly. They're not going to push that any farther than they've already taken it. And I think that might be a slight misplay, as now Ice Up Extreme is on his own against Just Banter. But here comes Kid Slim ready to help peel off the pressure, and just showing face is enough to push who is this user back down the lane. Now he's in the air looking for something, maybe onto Tobias here. He is finding the knockup, but it's not going to have any backup because iStuff Extreme is being aggressed on by Just Banter, but a good stun from the real Bilbo is going to peel that aggression off. The Rainfire does not quite connect, but now Just Banter is still under attack, but he has a blink. He has a blink. He has a blink.
He has a blink.
I didn't expect it, but I like it. Who is this user just barely able to get out of that one after taking a big shot from Hachiman with that steroid from his one there. Great shot, unfortunately couldn't find the follow-up to secure the kill. So Tobias will be coming back in just a few moments here, already back to that tier 1 now.
So I just want to go back to the focus of sticking together for team fights and focusing these objectives with the lead that they had. Um, probably shout out to their coach for getting them in line and getting them ready for this game too, realizing what they needed to do differently to, be relevant in this game and coming out with the lead. And they have the lead right now. It's looking really good. 2 objectives on the side of Janitors. And I'm just excited to see excited for the rest of this game to pan out.
Yeah, they've been doing exactly what they need to. They've been capitalizing on Dr. Phil's weaker team fight and using their far superior team fight to their advantage. Now Honkler has rotated around, but here is Anything Kiwi as well. Now they look to be grouping up a little bit for a bit of a skirmish, a 3v3 in this mid lane, but seems to be petering off to nothing. But iSelf Extreme is in the back here, possibly looking for a loop around. Just Banter maybe not sniffing him out, but Tobias is going to stealth past him, which will lead iSelf Extreme to just jump back to the safety of his team and call that aggression off. However, in the dual lane, there's a lot of pressure from just from Noah and Skills over there onto Stiggy. But now that's a big ultimate coming over. However, there's not a lot to be had as they don't manage to find the knockup, but they might still look for this Freya as the stun does connect. Here is Ice Stuff Extreme jumping right on in. The ultimate, though, is no good as Freya goes into hers. Who is this user? Does find the real Bilbo now, and this could be a little bit bad for the Janitors here as Ice Stuff Extreme is taken very low after that dive. Kid Slim rotating in with that dash to try to help peel. Ice Stuff Extreme does seem to have a way out here. Managed to jump over the wall. But now Kid Slim is left in the middle of the enemy team. Does manage to find a good dash, and they are actually seemingly getting out of this with only losing the real Bilbo. However, it is going to cost them a red buff as well. Never is anything truly free. Oh, but they do pick up a kill onto Just Banter. Or, yeah, Just Banter as well. So, great return. They do maintain a 3,000 gold lead, but they are maybe not aware of this call from Dr. Phil as they rotate over to this Pyro slash Fire Giant. However, Kid Slim is here with the Honkler, so it has been spotted out now, and this is no longer a call that Dr. Phil can do. Now,
Just want to I just want to say something on the side of Janitors. Only going with 1 shell against the Loki. How do you think that's going to pan out later in the game?
I don't particularly like that decision. I think Loki and Freya are both big enough threats to warrant at least 2 shells. I would have liked to see a shell
Maybe
picked up
3.
from the Agni.
I don't know. Yeah.
And possibly even from Bologna as well.
Hmm.
But they do still manage to secure another Pyromancer for themselves. Oni
Yes.
Fury is up, so they
Let's
could look
go.
towards that next. However, it is actually underneath the Kiwi with the solo lane pressure. And that is because Honkler has been rotating to these fights, giving his team the help they need. And because of anything Kiwi's base damage as a mage, he's able to clear these waves a little bit easier, but this could be a big rotation happening as I Stuff Extreme finds a good ultimate onto anything Kiwi, and this looks to be any dead Kiwi. But and that is going to cost them an Oni Fury on the other side of the map. They will manage to get the tier 1 tower here, but now Real Bilbo could be in some trouble as Who Is This User is right here with the ultimate available. But hang on, Siggy managed to find a kill, and
Oh,
Jack, did you
oh.
happen to see some accidental beads there? Because I think we just saw some accidental beads.
I sure did. I will be having a word with Tobias after this game.
Great play from Siggy over in that duo lane to find the kill onto Noah. And honestly, it really is seeming to be a duo lane for only one side of this map here. Noah has been constantly putting pressure over there, but now here comes Who Is This User trying to find the kill on Ice Stuff Extreme, and he does indeed find it with a full Loki combo. I mean, what can you do? It's a Loki combo. You're a squishy.
Loki. Yep.
That's just how it happens.
I
Yeah,
liked.
unfortunately.
Sorry, I like the collapse. I just want to go back to that team fight before. I like the collapse onto that Baron on the right side, getting the tower. Sure, you gave up an Oni Fury, but you've had a 5,000 gold lead this whole game. Maybe it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Maybe they could have rotated, maybe forced a fire if they had the Gold Fury warded, maybe. But Janitors have had really good objective control and really good rotations. I really want to see a Fire Giant play here in the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, my only thing is if they do decide to go for this Fire Giant, they have to be really aware of where this Loki is. They cannot let him keep getting to the real Bilbo on this Agni, because every time he's able to get on Agni, the fight goes south. Janitors needs to make sure they're protecting their mage on this. And it's not the easiest thing to do in the world because, Loki has the stealth, he has that teleport. And really, Bilbo needs to be ready with those relics to make sure that Loki doesn't just kill him. He unfortunately needs to either predict the Loki ult and ages it beforehand, or he's gonna have to burn both relics on it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to guess when the Loki's ult's gonna come out. They definitely need Hide of the Nemean Lion. I need this Agni to be getting it after that current item he's building. I need the Hachiman to get it. Fifth item, maybe when he sells this.
Siggy creating some
Um,
trouble here. Good ages, but not good enough as Who Is This User will be picking that kill up. That's going to be unfortunate for the side of Janitors now. But hang on, more
yes,
unfortunate is this Fire Giant call for Dr. Phil. That's a big one right there. I love it, Jack.
beautiful,
I think it's
beautiful.
working. You're sending your thoughts to their brainwaves.
I think Loki and this Niza especially have kind of been watching the map. They're wanting to go for kills over objectives. That's what I've kind of noticed for more of this game. I feel like Janders might be picking up on that, kind of throwing the Hachiman out for bait, like come here Niza, and they're capitalizing on these objectives like they should be doing.
And here comes Fear No Evil, but Valkyrie's Discretion is trying to put out some damage itself, but not enough as the Honkler is going to take that one. Now Noah has found a kill on Ice Stuff Extreme, but the Honkler, for his part, has found a double kill, and that one's going in favor of the Janitors.
Beautiful, beautiful. Getting the fire, getting 2 kills on top of it. I want to see them get a couple towers here while they have a man advantage, or simply just regroup.
Now they're having a fight over in this mid lane. Baron's going up into that ulti, but Kid Slim takes it for the team. I love it. But now Real Bilbo is in some trouble. Shell is popped. He's bringing down the stuns on himself. But who is this user? It's just W Keen at him, trying to find him. He gets behind him, does find the damage. Honkler does finally manage to take him out, but they've already lost both their carries. Now Siggy is rotating back in, but the fight is maybe kind of dangerous with just a solo and a support on each side. But here comes Siggy on the horse. Does find a big ulti. Now it is just Banter all on his own in the middle of these three members. And the Honkler with the big dunk finds the final kill. The tier 1 is going to go down. But now Freya is also up. And these are some low health bars for the Honkler. That's a big bandage coming out. Kid Slim needs to cancel that back. He does manage to get away back to the safety of his support there. But honestly, this Fire Giant didn't see a ton of use.
This is what I mean exactly. Objective control. Like, you have 4, you get a tower, the pyro. Oh, they are getting the pyro. Nice, nice. Okay, well, at least the bats and the Hachiman are going to secure that pyro for the side of Janitors. But I want to see them, especially with this lead that they have, getting a tower, rotating for an objective, grouping as 5, rotating, grabbing the gold, getting the towers that they're able to get with this Fire Giant, because I think people underestimate Fire Giant quite a lot. Like, you're just absolutely able to decimate towers, especially with the buffs that it gives you. I think people don't really understand its
Big
power.
damage coming down. But here is a bigger ultimate coming from Myself Extreme. Takes out who is this user, turns the bait around on them. And now this is no longer a free Fury as Kid Slim is getting ready for that ultimate. Where is he going to come down? Right in the middle of 4 people. I don't think this is where they want to be. Now he does find a good knockup onto Anything Kiwi, and his team has fallen back. They have better position, but Noah is rotating around, looping behind them, and this could be dangerous positioning for them. I don't think they realize he's right there, and he is going in trying to find someone right now, but he's stunned out instead, forced to back away now, and the ultimate is still available for him if he needs it there. Now Fury is being started up once again by Janitors, but just Banter is pushing them off of that, spinning through them rapidly. And now that the aggression just continues in this Fury Pit as the Honkler dives in with a huge dunk, not able to find anyone on the stun, but it's not going to matter because Real Bilbo has found a kill onto Skills there. And now is Neja finding a return kill onto Bilbo, but Ice Stuff Extreme is also finding a way to take out Just Banter. The aggression continues. Now he's being chased by Noah still, and he jumps back onto Noah with a big kill. That was a great play coming out of the monkey, and now they can finally secure this Gold Fury for themselves here, as the only ones available to defend it are Who Is This User and Anything Kiwi. And I don't know about you, but I don't really trust Loki's steal potential, even though he's going to try it here. Uh, not able to find it as it does go down very quickly. Instead, has to blink away from the Janitors as they turn their attention over to this tier 2 tower in the left lane. And this is the objective focus we wanted to see. They are now 9,000 gold in the lead after that objective. I would love to see them back after this tower, spend that gold, and really solidify their lead.
If we could go to the golden hand really quick.
Yeah,
Yeah, see
2,800.
that Hunbat's 3,000 gold after getting that tower, that gold, couple kills there. It's huge. They're escalating this lead. They were 6,000 up. They're 10,000 up now. Getting the gold, rotating for an objective for that tower. Fire Giants up now. Just get a couple sentry wards deep. Get swords around the jungle and get this fire. They're totally able to get it. They're in a position to sort of take this game by the neck now and kind of go with it.
Yeah, and it does look like Agni's going to be picking up that High of the Nemean Lion next. He's gone into Silver Breastplate here. Uh, Interestingly, Hachime has opted for a Shadow Steel Shuriken rather than Poison Star or Wind Demon.
Ugh. Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask how you feel about that, but you pretty much just told me.
Yeah.
I mean, they do need anti-heal on their team here. They've got the Toxic Blade and the Divine right now. and a
And the
pestilence. I
best,
don't think Shadow Steel was
I don't think
necessary.
Shadow Steel is necessary.
Well, it could be a big pick onto who is this user, but it's not going to be enough damage to finally secure him. Kid Slim does, or I'm sorry, Kiwi goes into that ultimate, and Kid Slim eats the damage for him. Big ultimate from Siggy does take skills out of this fight. Now it's Ice Stuff Extreme on Noah. They're gonna pick him up. Sigmy is gonna have a double kill. Just Banter, just barely leaping away here. I don't think they need to chase this anymore. I think they want to turn back to the fire, and they are indeed doing it with 4 members. But Ice Stuff Extreme might still be able to find the kill. Stops the back, but not able to find the real damage he's looking for, as he is rather low there, not able to quite dive a King Arthur at this point here. They
I
do
I would
manage to
just
get that Fire Giant.
mm,
Horse is coming down onto the tier 2 in mid, and they're going to go
beautiful,
ahead and take it, Jack!
beautiful, beautiful objective control, beautiful tower focus, fires, pyros, Janitors is doing everything they needed to do to win this game, and they're looking to close it out right now.
Yeah, they got 10 seconds before skills is up, down to 5 seconds now. Another 9 seconds before Noah and Baron are up here. Just Banter's very low right now. Lots of damage coming out. Real Bilbo does finally put Just Banter in the dirt, but the ultimate is forced out of Hoonbots, and now it looks like Janitors are on the retreat. Might have been a hasty end call, maybe a little bit in over their heads here. Now Kid Slim take another ultimate for the team from Baron. You gotta respect the man. He's so low. He's trying to lead them on a goose chase here, and he's actually still alive. But here is Freya just pouring out the damage, but she is still able to dash away. And look at the teamwork coming from the Hunkler. Steps forward so the Kid Slim can dash to him with the 3. I love it so much better than game number 1.
Beautiful. Janitors are looking completely different, taking this lead, shoving it down the throats of Dr. Phil, doing what they need to do to take control of this game, and they're looking like they're in a good position right now.
Yeah, they are definitely in the commanding position right now. They are in the driver's seat. They're 14k up. Granted, we are in the point of the game where the gold lead doesn't matter as much, like we were talking about last game. Once you reach this 30-minute mark, the gold differential isn't as big. Everyone's going to be reaching full build anyway, so they do still have to be careful of what Dr. Phil can do, because they're in a position still where they can fight back. Sure, they've lost that mid Phoenix, and maybe they don't want to contest over a Primal Fury, but you can't get in over your heads. And we saw that a little bit on that Titan push, where Janitors got a little over eager to end there, ended up burning a little bit more than they needed to, lost Ice Stuff Extreme unnecessarily, and just were forced to retreat. Almost lost Kid Slim as well. And if they had lost more than just Ice Stuff Extreme, I think this game would have been blown wide open for Phil.
Just like to go back to that.
Now we see Kid Slim just kind of harassing Dr. Phil a little bit, as there are 3 members of Janitors on this right lane. Loki is trying to split push the left lane, but Fire Giant and a numbers advantage looks pretty good for the Janitors right now. I think I'll take this 5v4 as the huge Unbat's ult comes out. Fear no evil, but fear the fire as it rains down from Agni picks up a kill, and they're turning their attention on to skills. Freya goes down. The Phoenix looking like it might go down here. Sure, they're losing a Phoenix on the other side, but it doesn't matter because they're looking for an end call here.
They need to end.
And indeed, it looks like they will be able to as Frenzy comes out. Loki has returned to the fight, but Sigmund is on a killing spree, and so is the real Bilbo.
Yes.
And that's the Titan for game number 2, going to the Janitors.
Oh, you love to see it. Clean game by the Janitors, objective focused, team fight focused, maybe not so much build focused, but it was a beautiful game by the Janitors. I got a smile on my face. That's what I like to see. Clean team fight, objective focused Smite. You love to see it, Spooky, and we got a good game 2 out of it.
I absolutely love to see it. That was the gameplay that you need to see in these games. You got to work as a team. Loki pick a little bit suspicious to me.
Yeah, I gotta talk about that for a sec. Okay, so great game to the Janitors. What do you think went wrong on the side of Dr. Phil?
Well, a couple things. It's easy to point at just the Loki, right? It's easy to just point at, oh, haha, Loki pick. They trolled. But also, you got to look at Noah as well. He spent so much time over on the map just harassing Siggy. And what did they get for it? 3 kills onto the carry. What did they lose for it? 2 Pyromancers, a Fire Giant, Furies.
Yeah. Hmm.
You can't be spending that much time on that side of the map and not be really doing anything with it.
They no Noah was so. I'm not gonna roast. I'm not gonna grill anybody, but he was so kill hungry on that long lane, especially on that Hachiman. Maybe trying to get the Freya ahead. Whatever he was trying to do, but he was so kill hungry. He got punished for it 3 or 4 times.
Hmm.
They got 2 really nice objectives from it, and it was really nice capitalization on the side of Janitors. I want to go to this Loki pick really quick. Um, when they got that last fire giant, he went invisible, did his combo, whatever, got sent down to about 80 HP, didn't get a kill, was forced to back, and Janitors, he doesn't have TP. This is a free fire for us, and I want to say they got it for free with that, and that is what lost Doctor Phil this game. I believe. I, be-
Yeah.
I believe that's
Uh,
what lost in this game.
I definitely agree. Loki is not a strong pick for a reason, right? He relies very much on going in, getting 1 kill, and then either dying or getting out.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, he went in, almost died, didn't get a kill, and set it to a 4v5. And then he split left lane and hard committed to the 4v5. And that was the decision, in my opinion, that really lost the game. If he was grouped up on that Phoenix with the rest of his team, maybe they still have a defense there. Maybe they can lock
Ah,
down the real Bilbo.
yeah. Hmm.
But with him being over in that left lane, even though he got a Phoenix for it, they lost a Titan for it.
By the time he got the Phoenix, they were already on the Titan, and the Titan was down 25% HP. When you're down 2 people in a 3v5, you need to be throwing everything at your Titan and trying to keep the game going. And he just, I mean, sure you got a Phoenix, but you costed the costed the Titan's life for it. I don't want to
Yeah.
grill the Loki anymore, but Dr. Phil need maybe to change it up in game 3, maybe with some more original picks, lean away from the Baron and the Loki here.
Yeah, and now we see Janner's going right back to that Horus, and I don't blame them at all. I really like that decision. We also see the Ho Yi and Nua being picked up, both backliners right then and there. And it looks like Who Is This User and Skills are back in their original roles.
I don't know, man. It's Dr. Phil. We wait until trade time.
They are definitely filling me with anxiety as I wait to see what they're going to do. Uh, I will say, this is personal. This is a personal opinion. I really hate the Nua pick. I don't like Nua personally. I don't think she's that great. Um, Again, very much a personal opinion. So I'd still like to see what Skills does with it. He might shine with it very well. He might prove me very much wrong, but I'm not a huge fan of it myself. What do you think, Jack?
I love Nua, man. I love her. Her ultimate is really nice. Team fights, 400, 500, 600 damage down to everyone. Her clay soldiers are awesome, especially with the stun that they have if you hit her 2 or 3. It's 2 or 3. That line ability, her invis is really nice. Maybe setting up some ambushes. Her kit's nice. Sure, not as much mobility, but she has a lot of damage to offer. Good team fight ult. I really like it.
So we'll call it a difference of opinions, and I'll allow it because, like I said, very much a personal bias for me. But we did see Thanatos banned away from Noah once again. Do you think we'll see him back on the Awelish after that gameplay or after that game? Or do you think he's going to give that Neja another shot? Or would you like to see him maybe try something else?
after such a strong game one, not dying, what, 11-0, 12-0, I feel like he should have just ran it back in game two. Maybe sure they wanted to try something else. But with a god you're quote unquote known for being good at, one trick at, if you will, being average on him. Um, I like it was open. He should have ran it. Maybe they had a better chance over that Neja. He got caught out a couple times. If they leave it open in game three, I strongly recommend he takes it.
Yeah. Well, we will see what happens here as we prepare for our next game here. As I'm going to check and see uh, what happened real quick here. And indeed, we just had a DC, and they are coming right back up. All right, so back to the bands. Yamoja, Ram, and Thana take it out for the side of the janitors, as we see Cthulhu, Nemesis, and the third and final band being Freya on the side of Dr. Phil. So, knowing they don't have first pick, not willing to leave that Freya open, if they can't get it themselves, they don't want the janitors to have it. And I don't blame them. After that game, Siggy looked pretty good in his role there, and I'm terrified to know what he would do with a Freya if allowed to have one. Actually, we
Ye-
saw him on Freya a little bit in week number 1.
Yeah, we did. He looked good on the Hachiman. Um, yeah, I feel like he played it well. Kid Slim on this Horus, maybe the MVP of that game, maybe the Hunbats, I don't know. Great pick. They're running it back with the Agni and Hunbats. No need to, fret about it. They played it well. Um, Interested to see what Just Banter picks up here. King Arthur support. Please don't go King Arthur support.
It's
Um,
got to be Circuit
Circuit
support,
support.
maybe.
So Weed
Okay,
versus
could be
this in game
jungle.
one. Sorry, Weed versus his Circuit support in week one. He looked really nice on it. Um, Getting the flanks that he needed to, surprise attacks, if you will. I feel like this might go a little bit better than the King Arthur support. Interested to see how that works out. What do you think about these first three so far?
I like them. I think picking the carry and the mid right off the bat, right away like that, is a little bit risky for Dr. Phil, as it really shows their hand and opens them up to counter picks in those roles. Like we saw, Honkler was able to safely go the Agni because he knows that skills is on the Nua right now. They're leaving their carry open right now, knowing that it's going to be a Hou Yi they're facing. Maybe they're going for a more ability based hunter, not having to worry about those crits so much. They do still have a couple of magical carries open. Oleron and Soul and Kronos are all on the table, so they might look towards that, knowing that Hou Yi is going to be in that lane. Circuit I do like, as it has some flex potential. Could be support, could be jungle. You don't know either way 100%. Now, the same could be said for the janitors picking Horus and Hoonbots up early, but knowing you're going against Horus isn't as big of a deal, and Hoonbots is valuable enough that he's worth picking up early like that. And then
Definitely.
because Dr. Phil already has their mid, there's really no fear to be had in picking up Agni.
As you do see the Athena maybe being picked in. I've not personally seen Noah on the Circuit jungle, so that might be a first. Maybe he'll go Athena jungle.
It very well could still be Athena jungle. We've seen it
Who
before.
knows? Yeah.
He went
Oh,
Jing Tian
have we
jungle.
seen it before? I haven't seen it before.
Not on Noah, not on Noah.
Mm.
But we've seen Athena go to the jungle a few times in the past. It's been a season or two since we've seen it, but it happened. And if Noah's willing to take Jing into the jungle, I imagine he'd be willing to take the Athena in.
So as we see the run back with the Hachiman being locked in again, ah, I don't know. I don't think a full run back is too smart on the side of janitors. I feel like Dr. Phil might be coming a little bit more prepared. Maybe into like Power Hachiman, sure, maybe, but Hu Yi, you can't really build crit into the Hu Yi. Maybe would have liked to see an Uller.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe just something other than the Hachiman. I just don't think a salty run back on the side of Janitors was the move. But hey, they could surprise us in game three like they surprised us in game two, Spooky. Maybe they're just evolving each game. Game one, it was a bit slow. Game two, holy cow, intense. And then game three, they're gonna be an SPL team. Hey, I said it here. Don't at me.
So I want to bring up real quick. It would appear we have another role swap, as it seems Noah will be heading to the mid lane as skills fades out into the jungle here.
Yeah, so sorry. One sec. So, what do you think about this swapping constantly on the side of Dr. Phil?
Well, it is pretty much kind of what they do now. I mean, Tobias, who is this user, did draft 5 junglers for his team. And so they're pretty much all learning different roles all the time right now.
Uh,
And
mhm.
being able to swap like this, it's definitely a strength for them because it allows them to widen their god pool and excuse me, just banter on the Ho Yi, who is this user, is now on Athena. So because each individual member has a different god pool, their team as a whole can take up so many different picks because all of them can play just about any role. So it allows a lot of versatility for the side of Dr. Phil. Um, I still prefer the comp from the Janitors. I do think the run back is okay here. I think
Definitely.
they still have a decent matchup into what Dr. Phil has drafted. The most notable thing, though, for me, is that Dr. Phil has 4 characters with CC immunity on their ultimates, which could be a big problem for those Hoonbots. If anything, I expect that to be where the weakness is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe seeing that Hoombat's locked in, maybe a couple more counter picks, because I know he was just absolutely fragging everybody with that ultimate. Maybe that's the game plan going into game three. But Spooky, so,
Mhm.
going away from the game for a second, I'm gonna need you to check your DM.
Oh, I already did.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so
To
yeah. So
yeah,
heading into game three, you think Janitors is gonna keep up the momentum from game two? Let's go.
I think that they have a great shot at this game 3. They're in a good mental spot now after a great comeback. They've shown that they can focus on these objectives. And if they keep that going, if they continue that objective focused gameplay, then they should be able to keep this momentum going, keep themselves in this game. And really, the onus is going to be on Dr. Phil and making sure they are in position to contest the objectives because that was kind of the story of game number 1 was actually in game number 1 neither team really went for the objectives too much. We didn't see even an attempt until 18 minutes when Dr. Phil finally went to them even though they were ahead pretty much the entire time, even if only slightly. But at the same time when they started going for them, Janitors didn't really step up to defend them well. Game number 2 rolls around, Janitors say, well, hey, that didn't work. Instead of that, let's just do the objectives ourselves before they get there. And then Dr. Phil just didn't show up to the objectives at all and lost a bunch of them for free. So this time around, if Janitors continues that kind of gameplay, that objective focus, Dr. Phil has to make sure they step up and are in position to defend those objectives and contest them if they don't get there themselves first.
And if Janitors rotates over to them first, maybe try and go for a steal, try and contest. But if both teams are up as 5, They need to be fighting over these objectives. Like last game, they cannot allow janitors to just get those objectives for free.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Now, I do think that janitors might have a little bit more trouble with this Nuwa in mid being able to just bring the fire shards down at any given moment. It's going to allow them a lot of vision control on the map. So, if Dr. Phil is looking around, they don't see janitors for a hot second. They're like, hey, Noah, well, where are they? And it's just like, oh, let me press 4 and find out. Well, then they're going to know if they're on the fire jet or not.
Hmm.
But once again, there's a lot of pressure in this duo lane from Dr. Phil. They got the Hercules back this time, but I would say that Janders have a safer game as opposed to game number one. Hachiman and Horus have a little bit more mobility than Cupid did. Hachiman has the CC immunity in his ultimate. He's got that nice dash to get himself away. Horus has the two dashes, one that acts as a stun, one that can take him to the Hachiman. So I think they're gonna have a tougher time in this putting this dueling behind than they did in game number one. And Siggy really showed it in game number two, where he was able to, even under all the pressure, he was able to stay so safe. Now it seems we are getting back into the game proper here as we wait for our final members to connect. As once again, Kid Slim getting in before Noah. So two-time race champion, looking to be the set champion here and get 2 games in a row as well. Now, did see who you considering that tier 2 transcendent start.
He has mana
Thought
pots.
better of
Oh.
it. Yeah, I'd prefer the multi-pots for the hunters. The hunter's blessing already gives them pretty good mana sustain. Plus, most
Yeah.
of their clearing is with the basic attacks anyway. They don't really need the mana a whole lot. However, it is worth noting he went only 1 mana pot and 3 health pots. So maybe a little bit of a strat there.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I used to do double health, double mana until I got yelled at by my coach, and he threatened to beat me.
Sounds like Rojo.
So yeah, I switched it up now. I usually go
Oh,
4 health or 3 health, 1 mana, because I
oh.
always end up finding I sell a mana pot, and that's just a waste of gold, right? You're selling it for 33 rather than buying it for 50, right? So
We saw a little bit of an early skirmish there, and while they aren't very memorable, not usually very noteworthy in the solo lane, it does touch on something that will be a key factor in this solo matchup. Is that Hercules is able to very easily cancel the Honkler's 2 on this Bellona. It has a big windup, and it makes her a pretty easy target for the driving strike. She's got to be very careful with her usage of that, because if Hercules just knocks her out of it consistently, she's going to have a very tough time clearing. Now the real Bilbo on the Agni, able to get some early pressure in that mid lane, puts some damage out onto Noah on this Nuwa here. And now skills actually over on these mid Harpies as Ice Stuff Extreme and Real Bilbo clear that mid wave and rotate to their red buff. It's going to put Ice Stuff Extreme slightly ahead in rotations as compared to skills. Now we see they're just now heading to their red buff on the side of Dr. Phil, and Janders are working on their Chad over there, clearing that, and now it's going to be Oracles. They're going to go the way of Janders as well, it looks like. So, just maybe difference in pathing might lead to an advantage for Janitors, but Kid Slim might be needing to be careful there. Goes for a stun onto Athena, but puts him out of position and eats quite a bit of damage for it. Ice of Extreme is here sniffing around, maybe looking for an opportunity, but not quite finding anything yet, as Kid Slim does have the pots ticking and the 3 available to help him sustain here. But the Mark of the Golden Crow goes out onto Siggy, and that's a little bit surprising to see that being taken at level 2, as he now does hit level 3. Good dash away from the Ricochet and the Athena, but a taunt onto Kid Slim puts him in danger, but a great dash back to Hachiman gets him right on out of it. Neither team willing to give the other any edge at all here. It's Janitors with the mid aggression here. They've got wave pressure. Now they're rotating probably to these back camps and then probably to the mid camps as well, I would assume. And this is good for them. It gets them a little bit of a. It's going to help them get a gold lead here, as they are slightly behind right now, but that's already being closed up. And you see right now it's only about 30 gold difference, maybe at that.
Yeah, very very normal starts. Both teams just kind of doing early team things, early game things, farming, rotating for their camps. Interested to see when the first gank's is gonna come off, how it's gonna come off, and who gets
Might
the
be
first
coming
kill here.
right now as Skills goes in on mid lane, but gets stunned out by the real Bilbo. Great job sniffing that one out, dashes away, and keeps himself safe. So, where do you think they should be looking, Jack, to get these first ganks here?
Uh, Honestly, probably on the Nuwa. This Hunbass can easily lock her down. If she goes into her invis, you place your ultimate on top of her invisibility circle, and you basically just kill her. I think she's free picking. Sure, she has beads. Maybe get a beads burn out of her. I'd say that's worth it. I think she should be focusing maybe on this mid lane. He should be focusing on this mid lane.
However, it looks like he's going to be looking towards this duo lane as he's rotating over. Now level 5. Doesn't use the ulti yet, waits out the jump. And now the ulti comes out from Hu Yi, and he does pick up the first blood, but Siggy is right there to return the favor, gets the return kill. And overall, is not too bad of a loss there. Pretty much evens things out. Little surprised to see Ice of Extreme held his ulti as long as he did there. It was good to wait out the jump, but now anything Kiwi found a kill onto the Honkler over in the solo lane, and looking at where he's positioned, I think that might have been a pluck just into his tower.
Yeah, it looked like he was getting bullied. The Bologna was full health, full mana. Hercules was a quarter health. I think you're right on the pluck there, and she got punished for maybe out of position.
Skills could be in some trouble now as two members have come down, but Athena ulting on in for the rescue here does get Skills out, but that is a big ultimate that is now down for a little while here. Now Kid Slim is trying to live in the enemy jungle a little bit, looking for some camps to find. But neither team really able to find a real advantage just yet. But now it could be Kid Slim is in an odd position here, trying to take the Chad away from Dr. Phil there. They do manage to get it, and it doesn't seem he's been sniffed out there. Red buff is up on the side of Dr. Phil. No invades just yet, as it is going to be Noah rotating over to that to secure the red buff for himself. But look at how far deep Ice Stuff Extreme is right now. He's just looking to take stuff away from Skills in his jungle right now. Big taunt comes out from Athena. Managed to find a little bit of poke onto the real Bilbo. Nothing too severe yet, as there was no real follow-up. And here is Ice Stuff Extreme just to help clear the wave. You rotate over to that red buff, get that secured for the real Bilbo. But now it could be an invasion coming out from Dr. Phil. Agni dashes through, but that puts him in a bad spot. There's 3 members right there, and that's going to be a kill for Noah, picking up that kill very easily after Agni dashes towards them, not realizing just how many members of Dr. Phil was there.
Yeah, maybe just a misplay on the side of Agni. When you dash, you die. If you dash out of position and you're unaware, you're easily going to get punished for it. It's your only form of escape, and he got punished for being there. Simple as that.
Yeah, definitely probably should have pathed back towards Ice Stuff Extreme on that one to help him stay safe there. But you live and you learn, or in this case, you die and you learn. But either way, you do learn. Now they're gonna go back to this passive game of just farming, and even now the goal isn't really that bad. Despite Dr. Phil being 2 kills up, they're only about 200, 300 gold in the lead right now, and less than 1,000 XP. Big ulti coming out, and that's a follow-up from the Honkler. Now Skills is here. He's gonna return the favor onto Ice Stuff Extreme, and that's a great counter gank. And that looks like they are just gonna back off of that, but Jack, they've used 2 ultimates, picked up 1 kill, and lost a life there. I think Ice Stuff maybe needs to be a little more careful about ulting under these towers.
I think he's just trying to force a little bit too much.
Hmm.
He forced, that one fight at the long lanes tier 1, used his ultimate when they're at the turret there, lost his life for it. Sure, they got a kill back, whatever. But on that solo lane there, he used it again at his tower, forced for a kill, Bologna ult as well, and lost a bit more. I think he needs to be a little bit smarter with his plays and his positioning, and definitely his ultimates.
You think you could be in some trouble there as Athena does ulti in. Banter tries to follow with the Huyi leap, but not able to find it. Not able to confirm the ricochet either. Now, looks like who is this user just trying to dive for Siggy there, not quite able to find him though. As the rest of the team now rotating over, Horus ult is in the air and he is coming down. Ice Stuff just barely makes it in, but that's a big taunt coming from Athena now. But here comes the Suns down from Ho Yi now. That's putting down a fair bit of damage. That does break everything up right then and there. That's a great play from Dr. Phil. Now Noah looking to steal away a bat camp here, knowing that the real Bilbo is on the other side of the map for a minute there. Hits this back heartbeat camp for free. And there's not much that's going to be said about it, as they are starting to get a little bit further and further in the lead, closer to about 900 gold ahead now. So Janitors are going to need to be a little bit more careful. They're not lost yet, but now it looks like Skills might be being collapsed upon as iStuff does find that kill. Bilbo does manage to find a dash out, drops a firebomb just for zoning purposes there. And that's going to help them stay right on in this. Now, Kid Slim just doesn't really have any breaks, does he, Jack?
No, no, he doesn't. He's just looking for whoever, just diving in there, flapping him with his wing and saying, "Hey, what's up, girl?" and then just getting out of there.
Now, we're about 10 minutes into the game here. We're starting to get some builds online. Where do you think these teams need to look to get themselves an advantage?
Um, Maybe just standard builds. If this Hachiman goes power build, he's gonna have a good time bursting down the Athena and Hercules. He's not gonna really be.
Easily into
Oh,
trouble there. That's a great combo from
that
Hoodie.
is a
That's the
good
kill
catch out.
potential.
Really nice. Sorry, I just wanted to quickly go back to what I was saying. Crit is not gonna affect this Huyi at all. If he goes power, this Hachiman is just gonna absolutely destroy this Athena and
Slim could
Hercules.
be in some trouble here, getting a little too aggressive on the Ho Yi. Here is Ice of Extreme, and now Bilbo is here as well. Fire shards do come down, but not finding any kills there. Oh, but Noah does manage to find a kill onto Kid Slim on the back end, but Ice Stuff is right here, and he's picking up a double kill onto both the dual lane, but now Skills is rotating around as well. He's very low. Blink comes out from both members. That's the ulti from Circuit. He's trying to find a way out. He does manage to get over the wall. I don't think the true damage is enough. He does manage to keep his life, but Skills is still right there in the lane, but Istuff will manage to complete his back, get back to base, and just heal up from there. Great trade for Janitors, but they are still some gold down nonetheless. Now another little brawl happening over in this solo lane. Honkler wisely backing up, not willing to dive that tier 1 against the Hercules, who can just lock him down underneath it. But I'd really like to see one of these two teams try to look for an objective somewhere. Try to force a Gold Fury. you're all pretty even right now. If you can sneak something or force a fight in your favor, and now they are forcing the Pyromancer right now, but all 3 charges are used on it from Agni, and that is going to confirm it for the Janitors.
If
So
janitors aren't, sorry, if Dr. Phil isn't going to rotate to that, that's just a free pickings for janitors, and they'll take that any day.
yeah, it looks like they were showing face there, but not quite willing to take the fight over it. However, Istuff could be in some trouble, but here is the big Hoonbot's ulti, and that does force the aggression to be stopped. Dr. Phil has to peel off, but that's still a win for them, as that is a big team fight ult that's just down right now. And if I'm Dr. Phil, I'm thinking maybe we start looking at this Gold Fury while Fear No Evil is on cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, 5v5 fights are always fun to watch, especially for objectives. You know, an objective steal could happen, especially with that Humbats all being down. I think that is the right play.
Now we're seeing a little bit of aggression here from Kid Slim. Big stun from Nuwa coming out, but a bigger dash will get Horus all the way back to his Hoonbots and out of danger there. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to see any aggression onto the Fury, but Sigi might be a little bit out of position there as Skills is jumping in, forcing out the ultimate. The mounted archery comes out to create space, and that CC immunity does get Siggy out of the dodge, but now he's in the lane with no ultimate. Now big stun onto Noah, and this could be a big lockdown, forcing the ult out of Noah. Fire Shards comes down, but a bigger fire bomb comes right down on top of his head with the landing. Now Skills looking to get the kill onto Horus here. Kid Slim is going to fall to that poison damage, but you're trading a mid for a support. I think that's worth it for Janitors.
Definitely, that Agni is absolutely rapid firing those bombs when the Horus got a CC out. Nice teamwork on the side of Janitors to pick up that Nuwa.
Now, once again, we see Team really going for these objectives. Now, Hoonbots is getting a little aggressive under the tier 1 tower. Does find the kill, but he might die for it. Indeed, he does, and he used beads on it. I'm not sure what the purpose of the beads was for there, but I don't think that's worth it for him.
Yeah, I think it might be I think he might just be getting a little bit too cocky. Like I said before, just maybe getting a little bit of kill hunger, trying to force stuff that he just doesn't need to be forcing, and just costing his life for it.
Now trying to lock down this Athena, but not quite able to find the CC they're looking for on her. Will have to just let her go. However, Nuwa able to find her stun onto Horus, but no real follow-up on that, as it is a Horus, and he is pretty tanky right now. But speaking of tank, I want to turn our attention a little bit towards the builds here for a second. It looks like Athena is going for a Pridwin.
Hmm.
I mean, either that or Staff of Mirrodin, which I would find highly suspect. But
Yeah.
Jack, what do you think of the Pridwin?
Sorry, the what?
The Pridwin pickup here for Athena that she's going for.
Yeah. Gotta be honest. I don't know what I don't know what the Pridwin does. Spooky, could you inform us?
Well, we will get to it after this Gold Fury, as it is being started up by the Janitors here. And it looks like they might have a chance to secure it, but the Dr. Phil is here. They do pick up a kill with the Fire Shards, and now they've dropped the Fury, and Janitors does still secure it underneath the sun. But Hou Yi is going to pick up the real Bilbo in return here. Mounted Archery comes out. Kid Slim is trying to find a way out with his ultimate. He does get it out and gets the shield, but now they're still here. Just Bander looking for the kill. Not able to confirm it. Does manage to stay alive for Siggy's part there. Great job. Oh, Kid Slim perfectly jukes the Ricochet by just standing still. But yeah, Pridwin gives physical and magical protection, gives you CDR, but Kid Slim playing a dangerous game here, as he is still on this tier 2, barely managed to avoid a triple bounce there. Woof. Tier 1 does fall, and now the gold lead is still in favor of Dr. Phil, and we're finally going to see this kind of peter out here as Dr. Phil retreats and regroups here, but Dr. Phil's still looking for some aggression, as Hou Yi is 2 levels up on Siggy here, so definitely able to look for the aggression here. Anyway, Pridwin gives protections and CDR, and you know what? Forget it. There's another fight happening. A big knockup from Kid Slim onto Skills to get Ice Stuff Extreme out of there. It looked like he was a little bit caught out there. Now the fire shards are coming down, but he does complete the back and get the healing from the valve just in time.
One could say highly unfortunate on the side of Nuwa. Maybe if her ultimate was up soon. Oh, I actually think she had no mana in time. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, big dunk coming down from Bologna, and the Fear No Evil comes out there, turning this around. Ice have picked up who is this user. Now the real Bilbo is taking out the Kiwi. That's a roast Kiwi today. Now Kid Slim is going to the air, looking for Skills. Is he gonna find? No, it's the Pyromancer being called, and I like that a lot more.
Great use of the Horror Assault, just teleporting your team to these objectives that they. Oh, and a Fire Giant!
It's a Fire Giant! I love it! They know the new ult is down, so they won't be sniped by it. However, they are getting grouped up on this Fire Giant. They need to back up a little bit, create some
They don't know
space.
they're doing it.
Now, yeah, I think it's gonna be free. Kid Slim is gonna fall, but gonna let them know. No, they don't. They can't finish it now. Oh my god. Okay, guys, you can't do that. You cannot give Fire Giant a triple kill. I'm not sure why they did that. I can tell you why they did that, okay? So, if you were looking at that, they were all on the same side of the Fire Giant. They were all taking the same Magma Pool damage, and you can't do that.
And
now
the
Dr.
knockup
Phil
damage
is gonna
too.
be
Oh
they're gonna be starting it up and taking it for themselves now. They have given up this Fire Giant. This was a little bit of a throw. I'm not gonna lie. They are back. Here comes the real Bilbo. Fire Giant has found another kill. Onto time. Just Banter has found a kill as well. They do secure the Fire Giant for themselves on Dr. Phil, but Jack,
my heart.
I need you to understand.
My heart.
The Fire Giant has gotten 4 kills in like 40 seconds.
That's more kills than you get in a set. Oh no.
Okay, Jack, you don't have to do this to me.
No, Janitors could have gotten that Fire Giant. They could have, Spooky.
They absolutely could have. Now, a little bit of a suspect play here from Hoonbots. Bees come out from just Banter there, but a little over-aggressive trying to take the Fire Giant off of someone that they really shouldn't be fighting just now. Anyway, there you see Pridwin, okay? 30 physical procs, 30 magical procs, 20% CDR. And the passive gives you a shield when you finish casting your ultimate ability. Now, Bologna's in trouble. Honkler is being chased by 2 members. Boulder comes out. Not enough to kill him. He's still on the run. He's out of there. And then if there's any shield health remaining, it blows up and does damage, okay? That's what
Okay, I got you.
That's what the
I read it. I read it.
does.
Thank you, Dino. I read it, buddy. Thank you. I'm a speed reader. 3-time national speed reading champion, okay? Okay, sorry. I want to go back to this Fire Giant fight. So
I don't think anyone wants to go back to the Fire
No. So when you take a Fire Giant, your support hits it, takes the damage and stands on the outer ring, and just kind of just zones anyone who tries to come in. They could have gotten that, but they kept getting knocked up by the same knockup. They kept standing in the magma pools. That was just really poorly executed on the side of Janitors. Fire Giant with the triple kill, play the game. But Spooky, I'm sorry, but it hurts me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a great Fire Giant call. It was poor execution.
Very poor execution. But it's fine, Janitors. Just tidy it up. Dr. Phil got it. Dr. Phil might be looking for a Gold Fury here. A couple of their players, 4 of their players still have fire. I want to see them capitalize with this buff.
Yeah, they can definitely force this Fury. They can force some towers down. They've still got it on 4 people because apparently Dr. Phil also has some trouble taking Fire Giants. I'm not even sure how Noah died to that one. I didn't see it. Now a little bit of aggression being put onto Athena as Agnes just dropping some bombs on her. Oni Fury started up but dropped by Dr. Phil. And I do like this positioning that they have here. They have a numerical advantage over on this Oni. Ricochet does not connect with any of those shots, but now they might be looking to catch Noah out as the Oni fire. Oni Fury is started up once again by Dr. Phil. And this time it looks like they might be committing onto this one. Frenzy is popped, so they're looking to burn it. The ultimate comes down onto it, not able to secure it, but Noah does secure a kill onto the real Bilbo as the fire shards are coming down now from the sky, putting some damage out. But I think the Janitors are overstaying. They've already lost their mid. I don't think they can afford to be here any longer. They need to get out of there. Siggy does have to use the ultimate to get out. Now it is Bologna and Horace who are in some trouble. Bologna by herself in the middle of 5 there does end up falling. Now Kid Slim is on the tier 2, looking to take a back, but might be spotted out here by Dr. Phil. Is forced to dash away. Athena, though, right here as well, trying to find a stun or taunt, but doesn't find it. But what is found is a stun onto Siggy, who is finally finding his way out, but the tier 2 is going to fall here. However, on the other side, iStuff has managed to find a tier 1 tower. I'm not sure that's really worth it. They need to be defending this Phoenix as a team, but unfortunately now, Kid Slim will be falling to this onslaught from the Fire Giant enhanced Dr. Phil. However, iStuff does manage to find a kill on who is this user. Now the fight could go in favor of Janitors still, as Bilbo is back up, but he's very low. Now it seems back. Just Banter has found the kill onto iStuff, leaving Siggy and Bilbo to defend this on their own with the Honkler to front line. Tries jumping in to find a stun, doesn't quite catch it, gets stunned out of the overhead smash there. Or hammer smash, I'm sorry. But that is going to be enough to stop the siege as Fire Giant does finally fall off. However, on the other side, they've got a big minion wave pushing in. Kid Slim is the only one here to defend it, and I don't think Horace can really do it on his own very easily, as the Phoenix is taking a lot of damage. They need to send someone over here to help him out. And Bologna does
Too
finally
close.
come over,
Holy.
but wow, that Phoenix took so much unnecessary damage, and they really need to push this out a little bit more because those minions are rather low on health already.
We see Dr. Phil heading over to this fire giant. They need to push out the lanes and they need to contest this fire giant. They're only 7,000 down, not totally out of it. Similar levels, they need to be there right now.
Yeah, it's already being
Hachiman can't be
started
in the
up.
left lane.
Yeah, it's be a little bit out of position there, and they're actually not even stepped up. They don't realize it's happening, and now Dr. Phil has another fire giant. Nuwa just goes up into the ultimate, dropping those fire shards down to see where everyone is, and they know now that they have a free siege on this left side because Hachiman is all the way over, or I'm sorry, on the right side because Hachiman is all the way over on the left side. That was just a little bit sloppy from Janitors. They didn't have ward control, and Dr. Phil saw an opportunity. They took it perfectly, and
Perfectly.
they were able to do a lot with the first fire giant, Jack. This second one could be pretty bad.
I think they're gonna look to close out the game here.
I don't know this is what you want to be doing as Horace jumping into 3 of them here all on your own. They do have backup on that Phoenix line, but not much to be done with the Horace ult there just yet. Horace is looking to lock someone down, trying to find anything he can to help the team out. Ice of Extreme trying to loop around, but is sniffed out by skills on the Circuit there. And he is being forced to push back with a big taunt coming down now. Pulls Siggy out of position. And he does find a dash, but he's in the wrong direction. Shell comes out as Driving Strike connects onto Siggy. Now he is able to back up and keep up the pressure. Now Circuit is all the way down. Does have forced out the ultimate. iStuff, on the other hand, had found a kill for himself onto Just Banter. That's a big shutdown. That's going to be a big kill for this fight here. Now it is a 5v4. Fire Shards come down, not able to put out a lot of damage just yet. Not able to find any kills there. And actually, Janitors are still holding on to this defense.
Considering that Phoenix was at half HP and Janitors just kind of put up a brick wall in front and said, "You're not touching this. We're gonna kill your carry," was huge. Very, very nicely executed by Janitors. I feel like Dr. Phil could have ended there. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication. Maybe just like weren't really committed to. Maybe they wanted to see if they'd overextend. Maybe get a pick first. But mm, nice defense by Janitors, and they're gonna hold off the assault perfectly.
Yeah. Uh, Dr. Phil does still maintain the Fire Giant on 4 members, but losing it on Yi is pretty big, as he's going to be their main structure shredder, and not having the extra damage that Fire Giant provides is going to be a huge boon to Janitors on the defense. However, Dr. Phil still has on 4 people, like we said, so they still have quite a bit of siege potential as it stands, and they're going to look to the Primal Fury up next. Jack, I'm just I'm not seeing the same objective focus. Hang on, I might have misspoken as Horus ults in now, but caught out is Ziggy as he's forcing the ultimate. Fire shards are coming down. That is going to be a kill for Noah on the. And, I can't believe I haven't said this already, but Noah? Hmm? Hmm?
No,
No.
no, no, no.
Noah?
No. Oh my goodness.
Now the siege continues on the left side. The Suns are dropping down onto this Phoenix. Kid Slim takes a lot of damage. He's still in this, though, trying to peel for the real Bilbo here. Or, I'm sorry, Ice Stuff Extreme. And it is going to be a kill now. Real Bilbo is still alive, looking to put some damage out as the Honkler is creating so much space. Narrowly avoids. He's pulling Indiana Jones on that one, keeping his life. And now Kid Slim is a little bit out of position. Big taunt comes down from Athena. Bilbo is right here trying to put some damage down, trying to keep him alive. Does manage put out enough peel to get Kid Slim back into safety. And once again, they have gotten a kill, 2 kills even this time, and they still hold their Phoenix.
This is an insane defensive play by the Janitors, and Hunbats was in right lane.
This is so a 4v5 defense. Well, kind of a 5v5, right? You have the Phoenix there kind of acting as an extra man for you, but
Yeah, 4.5.
4.5. We'll call it 4.5.
4.5. All right.
But now the Fire Giant is off of Dr. Phil again. They have sustained 2 Fire Giants, and now they're in a much better position to contest this third one, as most likely it will be an enhanced Fire Giant.
They need to be heading over to this Fire Giant now. Janitors cannot afford to give up another Fire Giant to Dr. Phil. They just can't.
Yeah, it's taking everything I have right now not to just be slamming VDF on my keyboard.
VVF.
But Dr. Phil also
VDF?
taking their time getting over there. Now Ice Stuff Extreme taking a back camp, not exactly where you want to be. Fire Giant is spawned in 2 seconds away from enhanced, and there is. He's all purple now. He's ready to go. And Dr. Phil is once again the first one's up there, but the Honkler is here this time. So at least they have some vision. But look again, Siggy is all the way over in the left lane. That's not where he needs to be. Fire Giant is at half health. Noah's going into the air. They don't have positioning for this. They're not ready for it.
No.
Dr. Phil does get the EFG. They took too long getting over there. This is just a little bit sloppy from Janitors. Now Horse is forced to go into the ultimate, and they're going to be hard-pressed to defend against this one, as now Dr. Phil's going to be ignoring 75% of backdoor protections. They're going to be shredding through these structures, especially with the increased structure bonus damage now. Big 3-man taunt from Athena now. That's not going to lead to any kills, but it does a lot of damage to these backliners. The real Bilbo is here trying to rotate in to defend, but he is forced to dash away early. Frenzy is popped now, and like Cirquette is trying to find a pick, and that's a big pluck coming out of Hercules, but it's Ice Stuff Extreme that picks up the kill onto Skills now, but Just Banter is ready to make his presence known once again as he returns the favor onto the monkey. He's going hunting today. Now the Phoenix does indeed fall, and it can only assume that they'll be looking for this mid-Phoenix next here, as they do indeed start rotating, but Athena once again finding a good taunt onto Siggy now. Good pluck follows it up, and it looks like this is going to be a dead Kid Slim? No. That's a dead, Noah. And also, Athena is dead. And surprisingly, Janitors have turned this fight around entirely. Now they're on the back foot. Got 4 people down. If I'm Janitors right now, I shove it up the lane, get rid of these fire minions, take as much as you can right now. You gotta get something.
They have to push out these lanes. It's a 4v2 now, I guess. Get that tower in left lane's one shot. After you get this mid tower, get the left tower, counter jungle, get all the jungle farm. Just try to find a way to claw back into this game gold wise and XP wise.
Frenzy is indeed popped to get this tower, and they are, it looks like, gonna rotate to the left side here. Maybe take a pit stop at the red buff. No, maybe the Oni Fury is what they're looking at here, but I'd rather see them get the tower
Spooky!
first.
Spooky!
Yeah.
4 people on the side of Dr. Phil have lost the enhanced fire giant. If Janitors wins that fight with all people having enhanced fire, who knows if they're gonna win the normal 5v5 fight?
Yeah,
Who knows?
this could be a big turnaround for them, but they're a little bit out of position right now. They do manage to secure the Oni Fury, but now they got people rotating in on them. Honkler is way out of position. He's gonna have to die. Kid Slim, you're gonna have to let him go. You're gonna have to give him up. And indeed, he is turning away right now.
Oh.
That is brutal. You can't be caught like that.
Yeah.
That was
I mean, your Hunbats is there. You get the Oni Fury and you get out. You cannot afford to fight the Honkler. Sure, you're sort of a tanky Bologna, but how tanky can you really be?
Yeah, now selling off his boots, having picked up the elixir of speed here, and I don't like this decision to pick up, to sell off the boots before he can buy a full item. In my opinion, you just lose a little bit too much off of that, not really worth it. And it looks like he's gonna be getting a Stone of Gaia in that slot as well.
Sorry, who? The Bologna?
The Bologna, yes.
Yeah. I definitely don't like prematurely selling your boots before you can get an item. Who knows if you're gonna fight before that, right? You're
Yeah.
losing your 40 power, your mana, and your movement speed for what? Like, what is that dino? 100 health and 5 HP
100,
5 or something?
10 HP 5. 100
10
health, 10
HP
HP
5,
5.
yeah. Yeah.
But, but if you take a look at things, once again, uh, Janitors are about to have their Phoenix back up. Fire Giant is about to be back up.
Fire
But once
Giant is.
again, they are on the complete wrong side of the map. Janitors have not been on the right side of this map at all for this fire defense.
They need to get over to this fire. If Janitors gets this fire spooky, they win the game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Their team fights seem way better. Being down 8,000 gold, Dr. Phil seems all over the place. Hashima needs to get with his team right now, fight his 5, and focus on that objective.
Yeah, there's no reason for Siggy to be over in that lane because he's already level 20. He's full build. Now he's aggressing onto Ho Yi, but Serket is right there. There's going to be a pick onto Siggy, I expect. And yes, he does go down.
Wow.
You can't take that aggressive pathing. You can't do that.
You can't. No.
And now Kid Slim looking to aggress onto something. They've been taking these 4v5s, but how long can you do it? How many 4v5s can you win? And not many if you lose Ice Stuff Extreme right off the bat. Now it's a 3v5. Sure, you've got the Phoenix here, but Frenzy has been popped from Dr. Phil, and I don't know if they can make this defense much longer because the real Bilbo is also falling down. Now it's just the Honkler and Kid Slim. I think this was a terrible miscall here. The Honkler does get back to the fountain for that healing. Kid Slim's on his own, but now Dr. Phil is aggressing onto the Titan. It's falling down quickly. They've popped Frenzy for themselves on the side of Janitors for this defense, but it's already below half health. They can't do enough damage to get this down, and that is going to be the game number 3 for Dr. Phil.
Oh! I cannot believe what I just watched. An absolute roller coaster of a game, and Dr. Phil comes out with the win.
Wow. I mean, great back and forth all around. Unfortunately, just some positioning issues with Janitors, it would seem. I want to point out Noah had exactly 37,000 player damage with the Nua, which I think is awesome because it's 37000. Anyway, yeah, you just can't afford to be caught like that. As soon as they caught Siggy on that rotation, they pretty much hit the go button.
Wow. Yep.
They see Kid Slim ult in. Unfortunately, Ice Stuff Extreme was not able to make an impact with his ultimate in that instance because he immediately gets gibbed by Dr. Phil. Then they just jump onto the real Bilbo, take him out. Now all 3 of your damage dealers are dead. You've only got 2 tanks. Sure, you've got Frenzy, but what can you do?
Yeah. That was a back and forth game. Janitors had great defense. If they tidied it up and didn't get caught out, and if Hachi was there to defend his 5, who knows what could have happened? They could have got 2 or 3, got the fire ended, but Dr. Phil, the circuit and the Huyi collapsed on the Hachi, knew he was out of position, and took advantage of that and ended the game. Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will be having an interview shortly here with one of the members of our winning team, the Dr. Phil. So stand by for just a moment as we get them in here.
Hello.
How you doing, Skills?
Great.
How
Oh,
are you feeling?
I'll take a
Oh,
double interview.
yeah.
Hog.
Oh, double interview. Oh, 2 Jungs, 1 pod.
All right, how you guys feeling after that set now?
I fed hard as crap second game, but it's okay. Um, yeah, it was fun. I pulled my act together. I felt game 3 because I kind of had to. Yeah,
Yeah,
after game
most
2, I was
definitely.
really disappointed in myself. Like, not even gonna lie.
Well, we saw you guys switch roles in every game. Is that
Yeah.
something you guys have been working on? Are you guys just comfortable in multiple roles?
Do I tell
Or
him the truth?
I mean, realistically, yes, because I'm only good in 2 roles, and honestly, the second role is even questionable.
Going into the game, I said if we go to game 3, we're just gonna swap.
Yeah,
It kind of just makes sense from like every kind of way, like avenue.
I still jungle too much to like not play the role.
Yeah, and I still mid too much. Apparently, I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so we saw a little bit of a rough start in game 1 objective wise. What were you guys' game plan kind of like in that first game?
I think our
You-
well, you
you
go.
can go. You can go. You can go.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Am I going or you going?
You go.
I go. Okay. I
Yes.
mean, pretty much. It was kind of just like I knew going in on a Wheelix. Like it's been a while since I like last ran her. But I don't know. Like we had Herc, so it's pretty easy just to get picks. I remember they also had I think a Jin Chen. So to be able to kind of like solo out the enemy support if they engage with a leap, you know, obviously Jing Chen usually engages with a blink. But I mean, we had pretty good synergy on that, so we knew it was a matter of time, just before like a team fight happened, that we got to pluck off, and we could just kind of turn things like that.
And
It
I'm
was also
glad
kind of easy to, you know, play her in a Nem because just the knockup removes Nem shield.
hmm I'm glad you brought up the Awelish because it had been a hot minute since we've seen the fabled Noah Awelish. How did it feel to be back on her this game?
Um, well, I was never on her because that's a carry lane god, but outside of that, no, it was pretty
This
good.
guy.
It was pretty good. You know, it's been a while, but when I saw Nemesis, I knew that, you know, I could go Jing Chen jungle, and we saw about how well that worked out last time I did that.
I'm just
So
glad he finally played a god he's good at, you know?
yeah, for real, man. Apparently my Thanatos is doo doo.
It is,
But no,
it's
I knew
fine.
that having a reliable knockup is pretty easy. Like just you might not want to go back to like level 6, I think, with that first game, because I'm pretty sure I got a one shot out. But when you kind of just bait out her double dash and you have a knock up to take out the shield, she's pretty easy to play around, to be honest.
Now, we did see game 2 was a little bit rough for you guys, but you seemed to pull it together fairly well for game number 3. What kind of changed between game and 2 and 3 to get you back into things?
Jungle diff.
For real.
No, no, I mean, the junglers I play are kind of weird. I'm like a weird jungler. I picked Circuit, because I can initiate, but I know I'm not gonna always kill them. So I kind of like, and this kind of goes for mid too. I like to set up for the team, and I feel like Circuit's really good for setting up or finishing off. But she's not gonna 1v5 the team by any means, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I got one question real quick. You're covering most of it, Spooky. So, game 3, the last like 10, 15 minutes was a bit of a roller coaster. You guys were getting the fires. Janitors was defending perfectly. You they would kill 3 of you for one of them. How did you guys how are you guys not able to close out that game after even the second fire? What went wrong?
I mean,
I
the
thought we were
tough
just
thing,
indecisive.
yeah, I think we were like half in between, like wanting to split push and maybe force them out, or maybe just kind of W keying. It's also hard to kind of just play into Hun bots from a like offensive role because that ult is just so good. Especially with Horus, because Horus can kind of do it out of nowhere. Like he can kind of sneak off to that area between Phoenixes and then just get in there on you. The most important thing I think was just like the Hachiman got caught out really bad, like really
Yeah.
really bad, and that kind of gave us the 5v4, and then a lot of credit to I think Banter because he's playing Houyi. He actually heard Horus ulting in. None of us heard it except for him.
Yeah, I didn't hear it either.
Yeah,
Holy
so the
crap.
second that happened, I actually beelined to get behind, like deep into the line, and I knew Horus coming in. The likelihood is that he was gonna bring Hung bots for an ult, so I kind of just waited for that to come. And when he came down, I got like a 3 minion stun on him, and then from there we kind of picked it apart. But they played like actually really really well, like out of Phoenix. It was really really hard to just get in on Hun bots, Agni poke from far away, Hachiman poke with his banner. Like it was just pretty actually difficult to get that
Because I was
done.
trying to find our one of many battles at the Phoenix. I was trying to go in there and maybe get a pick or so and then just kind of dash out. But the problem was it was just so hard to start a fight. Their defense is so good on the Phoenix. I will give them that. They have such a good their defense was awesome. So it made it really difficult for me to just go in there and initiate because honestly, yeah,
For sure.
I easily could have died too, and I
I think
did.
if
So
Yeah, I think if Hachiman had literally just stayed in Phoenix, that game might have gone on like another 10-15.
we'd probably still be playing
Honestly,
right now.
honestly, we might still be playing.
Well, kudos to you for breaking that defense. I have 2 final questions for you. First off, how do you guys feel about 4 Fire Giant kills in one game?
I
4
was
people
so
dying to Fire
happy.
Giant.
I've been saying this forever, dude. Nerf Fire Giant, because I've died to that thing way too many times.
I died to it after I clapped on it. Fire
We
Giant
had
gave me
the old
triple.
mod. Yeah, you see how often I die. Fire Giant, it's no
Like,
joke. OP.
in a world where Nuwa starts Fire Giant, there's only a 1% chance she makes it out without dying.
Literally.
It's never a good.
You proved that really well tonight.
It's never a good fight. You know what they should nerf? The tick damage that it does after you leave. Because,
Honestly, I agree with that.
There's only so many Aegises I come with, and there's only so
anything else.
so many ticks an Aegis can be there for. I think I got killed on the last tick.
It honestly, the tick damage kills me more. So,
Yeah, honestly, it's super.
I can get out, but it's the tick damage that gets you.
My final question is just because I know Tobias will be upset if we don't address it.
Oh, then ask.
What was the plan with the Loki in game number 2?
Honestly, I can't answer that. I don't know.
I got another question after this. But I'll let you guys take it.
I don't know what to tell you about that dude, other than I guess he was confident and just things don't go his way, which is fine. It's funnier that way. But we do what we can.
I got a question really quick. So game 2. Sorry, Tobias, I'm throwing it out there. But if the Loki wasn't in mid and you guys had a traditional mage that could poke from far and couldn't really burst all of his kit to, try and get a kill, if not leaving with like 10% of his life, if maybe he played a traditional mage, do you think that game 2 could have went a little bit differently?
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
I think
I fully
think had he
blame
gone
Tobias
reg-
on game 2.
Yeah, I think if he went like a regular mage, just from the Neja standpoint,
I would have taken a
it's rough.
Chunga, honestly.
I would I would take an Al Kwong.
Alpwash, dude. I'd rather.
Alpwash is pretty good.
All right. Well, that about wraps up our interview for you guys. Thank you for joining us. And for the viewers, please join us again tomorrow, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have Jaws with a Z versus Max Mode. We'll see you there.